Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Links are in the description below. Please show some love of the author and me. On to the show.
There's still a long way to go. The little lone wolf could clearly feel that he was just a hair away from breakthrough and transformation. As long as you break through this threshold, there will be a chance to find a way out of the desperate situation. Because as the ice crystal monsters and many strange beasts in the far north once again besieged the land of adventure, it had already seen that it could no longer defend itself simply by relying on past strategies for defense. Rather than die fighting here, it is better to use your own life to gain this glimmer of life. After breaking through, it will kill the giant gray wolf that is clearly the leader of many alien beast forces. To capture the thief, capture the king first. The little lone wolf wants to see if the giant gray wolf is eliminated. Will these alien forces and ice crystal monsters still besiege the place of adventure, as they are now? If so, then it only proves that today is the time for the land of adventure to fall. It has also tried its best to fulfill its promise to the Wolf King. As for who will own the land of adventure after he dies in battle, the little lone wolf can't control it at all. They all died in the battle, so why should he control it? In this thought, the ferocious look in the little lone wolf's eyes became even more crazy. He began to rely on the mad wolf talent and the light of life talent, and charged through the ice crystal monsters and several alien beast forces from the far north without caring about any injuries. Ouch! Another cloud-piercing and sky-piercing talent sounded, and the little lone wolf once again used this sonic talent that was only one step away from being promoted to S level. The sound waves of rolling wolf howls swept across. The first blow directly shattered an ice crystal giant, and the aftermath also shattered dozens of ice crystal monsters and other strange beasts. A large amount of golden energy and pure blood of alien beasts spread across the world. The little lone wolf used some of the original power, born during the transformation period, to begin to snatch and intercept the golden energy and pure flesh and blood of alien beasts scattered in the world. The golden energy between heaven and earth and the pure flesh and blood of alien beasts were swallowed into its belly by using the power of its origin. It's just that the little lone wolf didn't have Su Lin's powerful and mysterious, devouring power. It took time to digest the golden energy and pure flesh and blood of the alien beasts that entered his belly, but it still stubbornly swallowed the golden light and pure blood and flesh into its belly, and relied on the muscles of the stomach and some original power to forcibly digest and absorb them. The damage to the stomach and the basic damage caused by swallowing dates were directly forgotten by it, because today's battle will decisively decide whether it and the entire wolf branch will live or die, so any damage to the stomach and foundation is of no importance. At this time, in order to obtain the pure energy for the final breakthrough, the little lone wolf was completely blinded by the blood. Every inch of muscle and original power in the body is being mobilized. No species can imagine that it has such arrogant fighting power after having been fighting bloody battles without sleep for 2 days. Even this combat power is getting stronger and stronger with the addition of pain and mad wolf talent. The little lone wolf, who was originally on the verge of breaking through to level 43, when the mad wolf talent reached such a late stage, he already had a combat power that was not inferior to the world-destroying level in half a step. It is hard to imagine that if the little lone wolf that is not completely transformed into a new species breaks through and transforms successfully again, how much its combat power will instantly soar. Therefore, at this time, the Canny Mountain Wolf King, who stood among several alien beast forces in the mysterious iceberg, looked at the little lone wolf, who not only had not been weakened, but was getting stronger and stronger in arrogance and combat power. Finally, there was a look in his wolf eyes. Looking down from above, there is a sense of solemnity. Immediately afterwards, with an earth-shattering wolf howl, the wolf pack behind them, which was almost entirely composed of king beasts, charged forward. As for the Canny Mountain Wolf King, he was still hiding behind and never took action. Because it is cautious by nature, it is still waiting for the moment when the little lone wolf reveals its flaws. At this time, Su Lin and his elite beasts, who had rushed from the Alma Mountains, entered the Arctic ice sheet and discovered that the birthplace of the rise of wolves had changed greatly from before. The entire Arctic ice sheet is dark, and the remaining devastating storms are mixed with blizzards raging on this ice sheet. Even the ice layers of many ice sheets have not been able to recover after being shattered in the catastrophe. It's not that the temperature of the Arctic ice sheet has been changed in the catastrophe, it's just that the remaining destructive storm is too terrifying. If there is still a trace left on the sea, it will be difficult to freeze into ice. This remaining destructive aura is even eroding into the sea water. Along the way, what Su Lin and many elite beasts from the southern mountains encountered were dead fish and rotten shrimps, whose vitality had been completely drained out of the sea. There were also some powerful sea beasts among them. It can be seen from this that even if several months have passed, this residual destructive aura is still extremely lethal to species. There are a large number of dead fish, rotten shrimps and marine life on the sea surface that have been drained of life and soul by the destructive aura, so there are scattered spiritual essences floating in the air. It's just that most of these spiritual essences are small pieces, and none can directly gather into a long river of spiritual essence. Like in the catastrophe of world destruction, faced with these spiritual essences at his fingertips, Solin naturally took back the spiritual essences, along the way back to the original space with a thought. After all, spiritual essence is definitely the most rare magical medicine and pure energy. No matter what level of existence it is, there is a demand for this spiritual essence, transformed from the purest life and soul. In this dark doomsday era, where resources are scarce, it goes without saying that spiritual essence is rare. If these little bits of spiritual essence were put outside, it would be enough for many small groups to fight over them. It is even believed that there are many powerful beings who have recovered. If they are not leading the ethnic groups to fight, they must be collecting the remaining spiritual essence in this world. If the Arctic ice sheet was not the birthplace of wolves and was also within the radiation range of wolves, it would probably have attracted the attention of other powerful beings. Fortunately, there are no powerful beings who dared to directly enter the deterrent range of wolves. Su Lin, who was taking the lead at this time, relied on his elusive speed and powerful spiritual power to collect these scattered rivers of floating essence at an extremely fast speed. It didn't take long for Solin to collect nearly a river of spiritual essence, and on the vast Arctic ice sheet, more than hundreds of millions of species have been deprived of their vitality and soul by the remaining destructive breath storm in the past 3 months. However, Su Lin was not too greedy for these spiritual essences. After all, this was the territory of the wolves. As long as the wolves are still there, and as long as you are still there, the deterrence will always exist. Therefore, there is no big difference between collecting these scattered spiritual essences earlier and later. But at the place of adventure, Solin was afraid of unimaginable changes, even if you have prepared for the worst. But deep down in my heart, I still have a faint feeling of intolerance towards the wolf branch in the land of adventure, because the wolf branch in the land of adventure is not the real backbone of the wolf pack. Some of them are even his closest confidants: Little Lone Wolf, Connor, Mortal Wolf, Rock Thunderbird, Silver Moon Bear, Gray and White Little Wolf, Tiffany, etc. Almost all followed him in bloody battles for several years. From a time when the wolves only numbered in the thousands, they have expanded to such an extent. So Solin really doesn't want the wolf pack branch to be completely killed, especially the Little Lone Wolf. That was the right-hand man promoted by Su Lin, the real right-hand man. Without the Little Lone Wolf, he will lose a general who can stand alone and has no shortcomings in murderousness, ferocity, strategy and stability. And with the growth potential and ferocious fighting power of the Little Lone Wolf, there should be a wider space. After civilization is truly established in the future, the Little Lone Wolf will rely on the bonus of luck and abundant pure energy resources to become a powerful existence that cannot be ignored in this world. But if all of the wolf pack division were really killed in battle, then all the future would be reduced to nothingness. Even Solin's future plans for wolf civilization need to be adjusted accordingly. Perhaps the only option is to let the charming fox take the place of the Little Lone Wolf. With these thoughts, Su Lin moved faster and faster to the place of adventure, because even if there are some alternatives, the Little Lone Wolf is unique after all. He was also promoted by him personally, and he was a confidant who could leave his back to the other party in desperate situations. So Su Lin continued to run towards the place of adventure, with cold eyes. While on the run, even he didn't know that the Little Lone Wolf in the place of adventure was already determined to die. It is using its last life to prepare for the chance of survival, for the land of adventure and the wolf pack branch. Ouch! At this time, deep in the cold Arctic ice sheet, the Little Lone Wolf had been killed for 2 days and 2 nights. He was besieged by a group of wolves gathered by the king beasts, and was attacked by the Kenny Mountain Wolf King, who was approaching the world-destroying level. I can't bear it anymore. Accompanied by an extremely weak wolf howl, the Little Lone Wolf's wolf body, which was more than 40 meters long, could no longer stand, and fell crashing onto the thick ice. The wolf body all over its body was covered with wounds, but not much blood flowed out, because in 2 consecutive days of sleepless bloody battles, the Little Lone Wolf was almost bleeding all over its body. Even in order to keep the mad wolf's talent from collapsing, it was consuming its own blood and essence to operate. It can be seen from this that the Little Lone Wolf was consumed a lot in this battle. In addition, there are also horrific wounds on its body. Among them, the ones left by the Kenny Mountain Wolf King are the most thrilling. A wound almost tore off half of the Little Lone Wolf's neck, and most of the skin and flesh on the neck bones were torn off. There is also a horrific wound on the left abdomen. This wound was a sneak attack by the Kenny Mountain Wolf King, when the little lone wolf was surrounded and unable to defend himself. The wound went from the left side of the abdomen to the chest, and even the organs and internal organs were severely damaged, especially the heart. Half of the little lone wolf's heart was taken away by the claws of the Kenny Mountain Wolf King. Coupled with the exhaustion of physical strength and blood, it can be said that such injuries are fatal even to the strong ones in the new species. But the little lone wolf relied on its ferocity and murderousness, just like the purple lynx that fought against Celine in the blizzard, and still managed to hold on without dying. And even if it fell on the ice, its pair of scarlet wolf eyes, which had been stained with blood, still outlined a sinister smile like a ghost of Yama, because the barrier that was only a thin line between breakthrough and transformation has completely disappeared. The surging pure energy that was forcibly swallowed into the body was greedily absorbed by it, and the neck bone and the neck also shone with an extremely dazzling purple light. Even more than that, the original power that had been exhausted was once again born in its wolf body at an extremely rapid speed. The energy and fluorescence all over the little lone wolf burst out. Even the original power is the ultimate deep purple color. The original power of each species will have its own unique characteristics. Just like Su Lin's original power, it has an icy air. The original power of Arctic Yanu has the feeling of burning heat, and the purple original power of the little lone wolf was filled with a strong killing aura. In comparison, the rarity and lethality of Little Lone Wolf's original power far exceeds that of other original powers. This also means that the Little Lone Wolf with such original power has a combat power that far exceeds that of other beasts of the same level. In addition, the purple fluorescence emitted by the secret bone is even more dazzling. Powerful energy fluctuations swept away from the wolf body in all directions the moment the little lone wolf fell. Boom. The powerful energy flow directly dispersed the many alien beasts and ice crystal monsters that wanted to kill the little lone wolf when it fell, including all the king beasts among them. This tyrannical energy flow instantly shocked the entire audience. Even the Kenny Mountain Wolf King, who thought he was sure of victory, was shocked. The Kenny Mountain Wolf King felt a hint of fatal danger from this powerful energy flow. At this time, after this tyrannical energy flow swept away, the already dilapidated body of the little lone wolf seemed to have a new strength again, supporting it one by one and getting up from the ground. The wounds all over the body of the little lone wolf, who climbed up, were not only unhealed, but became even more broken under the impact of the tyrannical energy flow just now. The original power born in the body also overflowed from the wounds everywhere. But it does not matter. The little lone wolf didn't care at all, because it is not even prepared to care about its own life today. After it got up, the tragic arrogance on the wolf's body slowly rose upwards like a broken cauldron. Today, for the wolf pack branch and the land of adventure, it is no longer an offensive and defensive battle at all. It's a life and death battle. Today, the little lone wolf must kill the giant gray wolf not far away, which is more than 60 meters tall, in order to help the wolves survive. At this time, the Kenny Mountain Wolf King, who still had shock in his wolf eyes, had already sensed the cold murderous intent that the little lone wolf had locked onto him. The original power of the Kenny Mountain Wolf King was automatically and completely unleashed in this brutal lock-in of killing intent. Tens of meters of gray origin power suddenly rose up from the wolf's body. Immediately afterwards, the wolves of the surrounding king beasts also burst out their original power. But before they could fully recover from the shock, the blood wolf, which was already scarred and even had its neck bitten off, actually launched an attack. Boom. Immediately after a shocking sound, the little lone wolf relied on the energy and strength of the aftermath of the breakthrough and the head-on collision to knock several of the king beasts of the Kenny Mountain wolves into the air and fly away with their bones shattered. Even if the breakthrough and transformation are successful, it does not change the fact that it is now damaged and exhausted to the extreme. Apart from impact, it has no other more rapid attack methods. The wolf's claws had become as heavy as tens of thousands of kilograms. During the 2 days of bloody battles, even simply running was a bit difficult, let alone attacking. In this impact, the little lone wolf had been damaged to the point that his damaged neck had opened several cracks again. Only the purple neck bone, which had formed a secret bone, was extremely smooth and without any trauma, because the hardness of secret bones is simply not comparable to other bones. After knocking away several king beasts with force, the little lone wolf suddenly arrived in front of the Kenny Mountain Wolf King. At this time, the little lone wolf's eyes, nose, and ears were overflowing with blood, and its face was also covered with blood, making it look like a person who had just crawled back to the world from the blood pool purgatory of the 18th level of hell. The fierce ghost has a tragic aura all over his body that no longer resembles a living thing. The appearance of the little lone wolf made the Kenny Mountain Wolf King, who had experienced many bloody battles and fierce battles, feel a chill in his heart. Too cruel. This lone wolf, who came out of the place of adventure and dared to directly attack their camp alone was so cruel. After fighting alone for 2 days and 2 nights, and suffering such heavy losses, can they still break through against the odds? After breaking through against the trend, he didn't even recover at all. He just hit his head and came to himself. Such ruthlessness and ferocity caught him off guard. The Wolf King of Kani Mountain could only use all his strength to activate his original power, and also activated his own amplification talent, activating all the power to guard against this lone wolf, who obviously had no regard for life and death. And the little lone wolf, which had lost consciousness due to severe injuries, and could not even feel pain, at this moment made all the strange beasts that besieged it feel intimidated and frightened, because they all seemed to see a head that was more seriously injured, and more desperate, and the more hysterical and crazy invisible fireworks burst out. Even the invisible fireworks turned into a raging sea of fire, at the moment when the little lone wolf risked his life, and hit his head against it. Ouch! Immediately afterwards there was a wolf howl that shook the world. The one on the little lone wolf's neck has transformed into a secret bone. The bones also emit the most dazzling purple light. With the help of the mad wolf's talent, it performed its first and possibly last secret technique, swallow the world. After the wolf howl that shook the world was heard, a violent energy flow suddenly gathered around the dilapidated little lone wolf. The little lone wolf's body was exploding under the powerful energy, but the madness and ferocity in its eyes remained unchanged. Soon, as this energy flow gathered more and more, a towering giant wolf with a height of tens of thousands of meters suddenly appeared in the sky. This giant wolf possesses unspeakable pressure and terror. The towering giant wolf opened its bloody mouth, and everything in this Arctic ice sheet seemed to be rushing into that huge mouth, swallowing the world. This is a secret technique that contains the rules of ultimate destruction. All species that enter the giant wolf's bloody mouth will be destroyed inch by inch. The space around the towering giant wolf is distorting and fluctuating, and the devouring power is sweeping across the ice crystal monsters and several alien beast forces in this area. These ice crystal monsters and alien beasts, even the little lone wolf, who fought bloody battles for 2 days and 2 nights, had to work hard to defeat them. Now facing the little lone wolf after breakthrough and transformation, or facing this most powerful secret technique, how can he resist it at all? At the moment when the giant wolf was formed, countless species and ice crystal monsters were swallowed directly into the huge mouth of the giant wolf. The pure flesh and blood of these species, and the golden light flowing from the ice crystal monsters were also digested by the giant wolf, becoming nutrients that made the energy around them even more terrifying and powerful. In addition, the one who is under the greatest pressure is the Kani Mountain Wolf King, who is closest to the little lone wolf, and is also locked with secret techniques. The little lone wolf rushed over just now, and it was for this reason, because the Kani Mountain Wolf King is the strongest among all alien beasts and ice monsters, bar none. If the little lone wolf didn't kill the Kani Mountain Wolf King, with his nearly world-destroying combat power, the entire wolf pack in the land of adventure would not be able to stop him at all. So it has made up its mind to kill this giant gray wolf, even if it means its own death. In this case, it can be regarded as giving an explanation to the Wolf King. At least it has tried its best to fight bloody battles, and try its best to protect this wolf territory. It has lived up to the trust of the Wolf King. If it cannot defend the land of adventure in the end, then it can only say that it is really powerless. After all, it is just a general under the command of the Wolf King. It is not an omnipotent god, and there is no way to frighten the world like the Wolf King. At this time, the little lone wolf was desperately urging all the energy in the secret bone to be completely consumed. Just not enough. The tyrannical power of destruction and swallowing power exuded by the giant wolf could not suck the resisting Kani Mountain Wolf King into its huge mouth. The burst of destructive power was only shattering the flesh, blood and original power of the Kani Mountain Wolf King. The truly fatal inner part has not been touched even one bit, because this is a strange beast that is only one step away from reaching the world-destroying level. In a real battle, without the assistance and bonus of luck, it can destroy a small ethnic group on its own. Even if there is no little lone wolf with the fighting power of the Kani Mountain Wolf King, it can break through the many defenses in the land of adventures by itself, and completely defeat the wolf group until the head and tail can't care about each other. This is the power of the Kani Mountain Wolf King. This is the power of the near-annihilated beast. What's more, the Kani Mountain Wolf King, who is approaching the world destruction level, has completely begun to fight for his life. It is desperately resisting this powerful suction like a sea tide, and it is also resisting the terrifying force of destruction that comes with the suction. It was the first to bear the brunt, and could see the weakness of the little lone wolf. In order to activate this secret technique, this lone wolf has completely burned all the remaining energy in his body. The flesh and blood on the wolf's body was burning and crumbling, and even the source of life, which was most cherished by all alien beasts, was burning. So as long as it can resist this wave of secret techniques, it will be able to tear this lone wolf into pieces effortlessly. In this mood, the Wolf King of Kuni Mountain became more and more crazily mobilizing the power of his origin to protect himself, and even began to burn the origin of life in order to obtain more powerful strength. But just when it stabilized, it saw the most horrifying scene. The one in front of me had no flesh and blood, and looked like a lone wolf crawling out of hell, with only bones left. He actually mobilized his last bit of strength, raised his wolf claws, and smashed directly at the secret bone in his neck. At the same time, Lone Wolf's will is also mobilizing some participating energy from within, trying to break this secret bone. The secret bone is extremely hard when faced with the impact of external forces, but for the body of the alien beast that gave birth to the secret bone, especially under the attack of both internal and external forces, it still cannot withstand it. At this time, the little lone wolf was completely unconscious, relying on his last bit of obsession to hold on. In order to obtain the strongest power, this obsession has been used in every possible way, even fighting to the bone. Once the secret bone is broken, the powerful power drawn when forming the secret bone will come out at this moment. But the consequence of doing this is not only the loss of the secret bone just obtained, but there is a high probability that even oneself will die at the moment when the secret bone is shattered. This made the Kuni Mountain Wolf King no longer able to suppress the panic and fear in his heart. Madman, fierce ghost. In short, it could not find any words that could describe the lone wolf in front of it, whose whole body was burning with fierce arrogance. At this time, as if it could no longer control the cells of its limbs, it desperately tried to break free from the lock and suction of the secret technique and escape from the battlefield. It really couldn't imagine how it could defeat such an extremely crazy lone wolf. But it's too late. In its eyes full of horror, the lone wolf, whose flesh and blood had been burnt, finally shattered under the combined force of several internal and external forces. Boom. The monstrous energy bursting out from the shattered secret bones all flowed towards the towering giant wolf in the sky. With the blessing of energy from the same sect, this towering giant wolf skyrocketed to hundreds of thousands of meters again, and the suction and destruction rules it generated increased more than 10 times in an instant. The Kuni Mountain Wolf King could no longer resist this shocking suction force, and was sucked directly in. The rule of destruction, also in its frightened and shrill screams, shattered every cell and bone in the wolf's body. At the same time, the ice crystal monsters and alien beasts on this Arctic ice sheet full of blood and broken ice, and even the thick ice in the seawater under the ice, were swallowed by the giant wolves. Wolf swallows the world. This is truly wolf swallowing the world. When the members of the wolf branch below began to counterattack, Solin also shook his huge serious wings and emitted dozens of light and shadow blades. These dozens of light and shadow blades, all with world-destroying power, went straight towards the dozens of strongest ice crystal giants on the battlefield. Boom. With the world-destroying level combat power, crushing the ice crystal giant, which is no more than a mere king beast, is simply killing a chicken with a sledgehammer. Dozens of ice giants were destroyed in an instant. The remaining power of the blade of light and shadow once again destroyed many surrounding ice monsters. Su Lin then continued to scan the battlefield with his pale blue wolf eyes, directly killing some mysterious iceberg beasts that had the strength of king beasts, and tried to resist. Because on the one hand, the number of ice crystal monsters and strange beasts coming from the mysterious iceberg is overwhelming, and the hunting pressure of wolves is great, Su Lin takes action to suppress these high-end combat forces, and the subsequent hunting and pursuit will be much easier for the wolves. On the other hand, these members of the wolf branch are basically all injured. If Su Lin didn't take action to suppress these high-end combat forces, the wolves would probably suffer a lot of casualties. After all, this group of wolf branch members, numbering in the tens of thousands, defended the land of adventure against the siege of ice crystal monsters and various alien beast forces in the far north. Just think about it and you will know how they spent these 2 days. It's not just the little lone wolf who is willing to fight to the bone in order to win. Many other members have also overdrawn their roots in order to continue to fight on the battlefield. Therefore, their combat power is no longer at its peak, and they are in urgent need of rest and replenishment of pure energy. In this thought, he quickly eliminated many high-end combat forces who wanted to resist among the mysterious iceberg forces on the battlefield. Next, it was the Rock Thunderbird, Mortal Wolf, Connor, Gray and White Little Wolf, etc. in the wolf branch, who started to lead the crowd to chase and kill. No matter what kind of battlefield, once one party loses courage and starts to flee, it will be the beginning of large-scale attrition and casualties. The many strange beasts in the mysterious iceberg were not united to begin with, But now that they saw the ice monster dying in battle, they had already begun to flee. Only a group of ice crystal monsters, that had no consciousness and only knew how to fight and attack, were still fighting with the members of the wolf pack branch. But without the ice crystal giant, that can rival the king beast, these ice crystal monsters can't stop the wolves at all. Just like tigers and wolves entering the flock of sheep, they quickly tore apart the dense group of ice crystal monsters. Then some members of the wolf pack, who still had a lot of physical strength, began to hunt down the fleeing beasts from the far north. The other members of the wolf pack cooperated to tear the ice crystal monster group into small parts, preparing for an annihilation battle, and slowly completely killed these densely packed ice crystal monster group. After all, these ice crystal monsters all have golden energy, and many members of the wolf pack branch have been coveting it for a long time. In the past 2 days, due to the rapid speed of the streamer, many members of the wolf group were unable to intercept it. And now, with the extremely skilled cooperation between Annihilation War and the wolf pack, I believe that these golden streams of light will become their huge harvest in this battle. Ouch! At this time, accompanied by a huge howling sound, the wolf was full of murderous and ferocious nature. It was bloody and mad, and it directly tore a near-king-level Arctic silver fox alive in the battlefield. These Arctic silver foxes all come from the mysterious icebergs, but are extremely rare in number. They coordinate and direct operations among various alien beast forces. Now that Kenershing has torn apart this Arctic silver fox, the alien beast forces in this area are even more chaotic. In the high altitude, the rock thunderbird, which was 100 meters high, also suppressed the injuries on its body, and began to lead about 200 to 300 evil-level alien birds under its command to chase down the fleeing alien beast forces. Roar! The silver moon bear, which had also transformed into a king beast, stood upright with its huge bear body, and was smashing the ice crystal monsters that were unconsciously attacking with claw after claw. The original power also turned into giant hands, collecting the golden light on these ice crystal monsters. After being collected, they are all stored in the original space. As for the other beasts that have not been promoted to the king level, they all hunted down the ice crystal monsters and then immediately captured and devoured the golden stream of light to replenish their huge consumption. Boom! Khan and other new human special forces, also wearing huge meshes, have come out of the fortifications in the land of adventure. Relying on the powerful technological firepower of the mecha, they are compressing the living space of these ice crystal monsters and alien beast forces. In short, on this Arctic ice sheet, after Celine killed all the high-end combat power of the ice crystal monsters and the alien beasts in the mysterious iceberg, the battlefield has fallen into a one-sided massacre. All members of the wolf pack were howling crazily, venting their anger at being surrounded and killed during this period. In the charge, many members of the wolf group no longer had the despair that they had before, and they were all full of passion. In this kind of emotion and the free-handed killing, many members also broke free from several shackles in their bodies. Among them was Tiffany, who was using her spiritual power to control dozens of specially made flying knives to kill the ice crystal monster. Her whole body exuded a bright green light. Tiffany, who had been accumulating for a long time, completely broke away from the last shackles, was promoted to the near king level, and the original power of Cyan began to be born in her body. As long as she has a sufficient supply of pure energy in the future, she will definitely be promoted to the king level, and it will also be a spiritual king level. Except for Tiffany, there are also many members of the wolf pack who have broken free and been promoted. The spiritual bird that has always been well protected has also come to the front line to fight in the past 2 days. Now it neighed in mid-air, and its vile spirit and soul power reached a higher level, reaching the monster level. The mortal wolves who led a group of wolves to annihilate and hunt many strange beasts and ice crystal monsters also roared loudly. It has already transformed into a new species and has taken another step forward. Its strength has reached level 36, and its aura is still rising. A little-known human pawn who followed Tiffany, also in this killing, relied on a simple second-rate mecha to become one of the new humans with the most dazzling military exploits. The second-rate meshes all over his body were beaten to pieces, but the fighting momentum all over his body became more and more unparalleled and fierce. Even he, who originally specialized in physical training, didn't know when he awakened his spiritual soul power during these 2 days of endless bloody battles. The two are fellow practitioners, just like Jiang Qingfeng, who is known as the genius of mankind in the Long Kingdom. In addition, the murderous aura and invincible aura that swayed throughout his body shocked even those who were stronger than him. At this time, Su Linyi was standing majestically at an altitude of tens of thousands of meters, with the huge wings of Sirius, overlooking the tragic battlefield below. Looking at the members of the wolf pack, who had made breakthroughs one after another. He felt satisfied and pleased with this wolf pack branch that could be said to be immortal in every battle. Such a group of wolf pack members who have experienced such a fierce and bloody battle can still have such fighting power and passion after fighting for 2 days without sleep. You can imagine what a proud and powerful force he will be once he gets some rest and fully recovers, especially after the establishment of civilization in the future. With the help of luck, the combat power of these wolf pack members will increase significantly. Such a group of wolf pack members with great potential will definitely shine in the future when civilizations collide with each other. In this thought, Su Lin's pair of pale blue wolf eyes also scanned the most prominent members of the wolf pack in the audience, and he was thinking about what kind of rewards he would give these members after the end. What Su Lin, who was thinking about, didn't know was that with the fall of the ice monster, among the tallest icebergs in the far north, an ice crystal statue standing in a glorious palace suddenly opened his eyes as if he felt something. It's impossible to describe how beautiful and powerful these eyes are. When these eyes opened and closed, a shocking light burst out. This divine light seemed to be able to break through the ice crystal palace, and even more so the mysterious iceberg, looking directly towards the place of adventure nearly 2,000 miles away. A huge silver figure standing in the sky appeared in those eyes. Looking at this huge silver figure, the divine light in those eyes became even brighter. Buzz! Even this blazing divine light made the entire ice crystal palace seem to tremble. White wolf, become the ancestor of the world. A vast spiritual will swept through every corner of the ice crystal palace. The exotic flowers and plants guarding the statue in front of it also emitted various fluorescent lights. These exotic flowers and plants have also achieved rapid improvement. Many of these exotic flowers and plants possess combat power that is no less than world-destroying beasts. The 2 huge iceberg lotuses have improved even more, reaching a height of 600 to 700 meters. They are still rotating slowly, standing on both sides of the ice crystal statue. These 2 huge iceberg lotuses had strength attributes of over 40 levels when Su Lin entered the mysterious iceberg. Now the energy fluctuations emitted from their entire bodies are comparable to those of the upper world destroying level. This means that the 2 huge iceberg lotuses have the fighting power of gods. This makes the towering ice crystal goddess statue even more powerful and majestic. With such a powerful ice crystal goddess, no species dares to speculate and test how powerful her true combat power is, because since the recovery, the few who dare to speculate and test, no species can withstand hundreds of moves at the hands of the ice crystal goddess statue. Even the ice-cold monster and Kinglian with the thunderous light in the sky could not compete with the ice crystal goddess as 2 enemies, and eventually became her generals. So if Su Lin's whole body has begun to nurture and develop invincibility, so the moment the ice crystal goddess opened her eyes, the strong invincible power spread throughout the ice crystal palace in an instant. The entire mysterious iceberg, and even the species and strange beasts in the other 8 icebergs, all looked up and looked here when they felt this strong and invincible force. At this moment, the divine light in the ice crystal goddess' eyes was like the light of a sword, about to cut through the heaven and the earth. Fortunately, after this invincible power lasted for a while, it gradually became restrained again, and the entire ice crystal palace seemed to have regained its tranquility. However, the beautiful eyes of the ice crystal goddess were as deep as a cold pool. She just watched. Looking at the silver figure nearly 2,000 miles away, he suddenly recognized the white wolf that had sneaked into the mysterious iceberg a few years ago, when his wolf had just recovered. But I never thought that the little wolf cub, who couldn't even stop a petal from the iceberg divine lotus under his command, would have grown to such an extent. And the ice crystal army, and alien beast forces that he sent out, and the land of pure energy that could not be conquered for a long time, were also his territory. This caused a flash of thought and consideration to flash through the deep eyes of the ice crystal goddess. Because the towering mysterious iceberg has not yet completely recovered, its powerful divine power cannot be truly displayed. His injuries and condition, even after absorbing dozens of rivers of spiritual essence, still have not returned to his true peak. Therefore, even she felt a little apprehensive in her heart to engage in a life and death fight with such an ancestral species that had bred invincible power and possessed the source of demonic nature. Because facing such an ancestral species, no species can guess where the limit of its combat power will be when it is truly facing life and death. Even if you really kill it, once you suffer extremely serious injuries, you may no longer have the energy to compete with other evil beings in this world. So at this time, in this kind of thinking and consideration, the deep color in the ice crystal goddess' beautiful eyes is getting heavier and heavier. The ice crystal goddess did not show the slightest sadness at the demise of the ice monster, a group of alien beast forces, and the ice crystal army, because she has lived for who knows how many years, her mind has already reached the extreme level of indifference. Not to mention the newly cultivated species under her command, even the death of many exotic flowers and grasses and iceberg divine lotus that had accompanied her for countless years would hardly shake her mind. In addition, the Ice Crystal Palace actually preserves the spirituality, spiritual imprints and blood essence of all species. She can create such an army again if she wants. The existence that is just reshaped will have no further possibility. At this time, in the midst of such thoughts and considerations, the Ice Crystal Goddess also spread her spiritual will to all the icebergs again, signaling that no member of the other icebergs would be allowed to go out during this period. At the same time, a ray of light reaching the sky penetrated the mysterious iceberg and began to control the thick ice-cold air and various rules on the 9 icebergs, causing it to entangle all 9 icebergs. In addition, if the ice crystal clear jade finger is just a little bit in the Ice Crystal Palace, there will be countless densely packed microscopic ice crystals. With a wave of his hand, these microscopic ice crystals, that were so tiny that they were invisible, all swarmed out of the Ice Crystal Palace and headed straight to the south. Su Lin will send the elite wolves to find out the details of the mysterious iceberg. So how can the Ice Crystal Goddess not know the details of the wolves? Nowadays, whether it is the Arctic wolves under Su Lin or the vast glacial forces under the Ice Crystal Goddess, the overall strength can be said to have reached the level of quasi-civilization. A confrontation of forces of this level will definitely not be a so-called whim, but will officially start a truly brutal showdown after countless trials and frictions, because the forces that have reached this level can affect the whole body. If you really act rashly and cause a heavy price, it will most likely cause the entire force under your command to be shaken or even wiped out. Time flew by, and 2 days passed in the blink of an eye. In the past 2 days, tens of thousands of elite alien beasts from the southern mountains brought by Su Lin had arrived at the place of adventure. Following the wolf branch, they also hunted down and annihilated many of the incoming ice crystal monsters and alien beasts' power. Although this wolf pack branch suffered heavy losses, it also gained a lot in the final pursuit and annihilation. Almost all of the tens of thousands of exotic beasts from the far north were hunted. Millions of ice crystal monsters were also completely wiped out by the wolves. The golden stream of light obtained was all absorbed by the wolf pack members, resulting in a large amount of pure energy supply to the wolf pack members during this period, and they all received a huge increase in strength. Not to mention the original wolf branch, even the strange beasts from the southern mountains that arrived later had successfully transformed into many near-king level beasts due to eating a lot of golden streamers. Among them, the fierce cat and the mad cow also performed extremely well in this fight. The two of them seemed to be born to belong to the battlefield, and the results were the most eye-catching on the battlefield. Now the wolves have already cleaned up this battlefield full of blood and broken ice. The corpses of dozens of strange beasts were dragged back to the place of adventure. As for those ice crystal monsters, except for the golden streamer, they really turned into a puddle of ordinary broken ice, so they were all abandoned on the ice field by the wolves. At this time, on this battlefield filled with the smell of gunpowder smoke and blood, countless alien fish that had been killed in this bloody battle emerged from the shattered ice. Many bear tribes with strong water adaptability are led by Silver Moon Bear to collect these fish in the sea water. Even some king beasts are using the original power and original space to collect. It is really because the wolf branch has suffered the pain of not having food and pure energy. So even these alien fish floating on the sea are collected one by one. In addition, the destructive aura and blood mist in this area were completely eliminated due to the battle between Su Lin and the ice monster. This makes the living environment of the wolf branch better. Next, after all the wolf divisions returned to the land of adventure, they all began to rest and recuperate after this bloody battle. Only a group of new humans, who have been hiding in the fortifications and relying on technological weapons, still have a lot of physical strength and energy to rebuild and strengthen the outer fortifications. Because new humans rarely go to the front-line battlefields and experience life and death battles firsthand, this is also an important factor why their strength is slower than that of other alien beasts. But no matter what, the human team has made great contributions to the wolves, both on the battlefield and in logistics. Their achievements cannot be erased. So ever since Xander led his men to join the wolf pack, Su Lin has never owed any reward from a human being, because humans deserve this reward for their contributions to the wolves. After returning to the land of adventure, Su Lin was not stingy at all and distributed the flesh and blood of the tens of thousands of exotic beasts from the far north that were hunted by the wolves. These tens of thousands of pure flesh and blood are presumably enough for the members of the wolf pack branch to completely recover and replenish the lack of pure energy in their bodies. As for the wolf branch, some of the traumatized members were cured by some strange beasts with healing talents in the southern mountains under Bdi's arrangement. For those members who suffered original injuries and irreversible injuries, if they had sufficient military exploits and good growth potential, Solin would personally help them heal. At this time, the entire wolf branch, as well as many elite beasts from the southern mountains, were recuperating in the place of adventure, after receiving pure blood food. Only a group of elite beasts from the southern mountains sent out by Su Lin, led by Sable, went to explore the mysterious iceberg. This group of strange beasts all have near king level strength, and under the leadership of Sable, they should be able to protect themselves as long as they don't get too close to the mysterious iceberg. After doing all this, Solin also entrenched himself in the old cave, where he used to live in the land of adventures, and began to restore his condition and strength. The cave that was originally very spacious now seems a bit small for Solin now, because now, even if Su Lin does not unfold the wings of the Sirius, he is still a full 156 meters tall. After entering the cave, he is 80 or 90 meters tall when he is entrenched in place. In human society, this height is equivalent to the height of 20 or 30 stories. But Su Lin didn't care and settled in, recovering his condition. In the recovery state, part of his mental and soul power also checked the little lone wolf next to him again. The little lone wolf recovered quickly. The reshaped body and flesh are now emitting lavender energy fluorescence, and skin and strands of hair have begun to grow on the flesh. Waiting for the skin, flesh and hair to fully grow, I think that's when the little lone wolf wakes up. Besides, the little lone wolf's strength also began to increase by leaps and bounds while sleeping due to the intake of a full third of the spiritual essence. Once he wakes up, his strength will be greatly improved. In this thought, Su Lin explored the little lone wolf for a moment and then recovered his mind. Next, he began to concentrate on restoring his own state. In the recovery state and the entire wolf branch is recuperating, time is passing quietly. What Su Lin didn't know was that, when he sent elite beasts from the southern mountains to explore the mysterious iceberg, a stream of ice crystal microorganisms that had been fused in the cold wind also drifted toward the place of adventure, with the help of the wind. In addition, after the wolves swarmed away from the southern mountains, the battles in other parts of the world became more intense. Many small tribes either lost their entire tribe to death in the battle, or were reduced to blood food. There are also many new groups of monsters who have been forcibly killed from various ethnic groups, such as fire ant swarms and undead cockroach swarms. These two don't even have a tribe to lead the world-destroying beasts, but they managed to survive the apocalypse by relying on their tenacious survival and reproduction power. And in just a few months, the number has already recovered a lot. Among them, the undead cockroach swarm hunts everything that can be used as food in several countries near the equator. Trees, grass roots, insects, microorganisms, and even many soils rich in pure energy were all used as food. In the end, some alien cockroaches among the group of undead cockroaches evolved the ability to swallow the remaining destructive aura. This immediately caused the undead cockroach swarm to expand even more wantonly, and the destructive aura storm that had not completely dissipated in some corners also became their prey. But when the purple-blooded cockroach among them wanted to rely on its tenacious vitality to enter India to hunt for some fresh human blood food, it happened to encounter a bloodthirsty python. Even the powerful vitality of the purple cockroach is not inferior to the world-destroying level, but it was still easily wiped out by the divine light bursting out from the blood-red eyes of the bloodthirsty python. It turned into a ball of pure purple liquid, and was swallowed by the bloodthirsty python. However, without the purple cockroaches, the undead cockroach clan still has not stopped the pace of expansion, and is still devouring the destructive atmosphere that remains in many countries near them. Even a new cockroach king was born again, and it was more powerful and abnormal than the purple blood cockroach. As for the fire ant colony, as the most aggressive and team-working ant colony in the world, the surviving ones are also hunting other groups in the Americas, especially hunting humans. Because the Americas have experienced a second destruction, the ecological environment has suffered unimaginable damage, and their tribes have also suffered unimaginable losses in the nuclear blast. Even a targeted nuclear explosion attack would hit them harder than a world-ending catastrophe. Therefore, the red fire ant colony, which had just recovered a little, launched a fearless charge and hunt against humans. The humans in many of the strongest fortresses in America have all turned into blood food for fire ant colonies. As for the unimaginably bad environment in America, the red fire ant colony and the undead cockroach swarm have also evolved new abilities. It can absorb nuclear radiation energy between heaven and earth, mutate and grow. This made the red fire ant colony quickly become stronger. The red fire ant generals among them also successfully mutated under the strong nuclear radiation, and their combat power and vitality completely broke through and were promoted to the world-destroying level. Even when the fire ant swarm was in full swing and began to hunt unscrupulously in the Americas, there were still human precision drones that vaguely photographed the largest mother nest of the fire ant colony, with a divine light that was absolutely comparable to the fluctuations of the gods in burning. This is probably the strongest leader among the fire ants. As for whether it is the legendary and speculated queen of fire ants, no one can say for sure, because the drone that went to take photos at close range, they were all completely shattered by that powerful divine light. In addition to these two new monster groups, the showdown between the resurrected and powerful beings of the older groups of monsters from other places in this world is also becoming more intense. The earth, burnt red by the flames of war, has no idea when such fierce competition and duel will stop. The bloodthirsty python has always been among the best since the great change in the world, and finally became the first among all mutated creatures. Its combat power has long been unimaginable. The bloodthirsty python is different from other powerful beings in this world. Since his debut, he has never been defeated. No matter how many monsters there are in the bloody battle, the one who survives to the end must be the bloodthirsty python. Such an undefeated record shocked the entire world, especially the killing of the legendary supreme god Shiva in this battle proved to the whole world that the bloodthirsty python is the most powerful in the world. It also proves that it will be the one with the best chance of transcendence in the struggle of all things in this era. At that time, it will become an existence in this world that can rival the will of the earth. Therefore, it is not an exaggeration to call him the destined son and the invincible king of this era. And after killing Shiva, the bloodthirsty python also found a destiny stone from the Buddhist sacred mountain that contained Shiva's fortune savings. After the catastrophe of annihilation, the news of the ethnic group's destiny stone has long since disappeared among the truly powerful existences. The bloodthirsty python has naturally known about the ethnic group's destiny stone for a long time. It's just that the destiny stones of the ethnic groups in this world are all in the hands of the most powerful being, who once helped Yuan go survive. This is also the fundamental reason why the bloodthirsty python broke open the Buddhist sacred mountain and fought against the legendary supreme god Shiva. It clearly wants to establish a civilization that truly belongs to the snake group. And this destiny stone, which once accumulated the fortune of the Yuan dynasty that Shiva once brokered, has also become a great gift to the bloodthirsty python. Nowadays, the entire Indian country is mobilizing to establish a snake civilization under the vast spiritual will exuded by the bloodthirsty python. Just when the bloodthirsty python and its group of snakes are working hard to establish civilization, no one knew that deep in the Arctic ice sheet, an ancestral species that had also never been defeated was standing on a huge ice wall, looking down at the more than 100,000 elite beasts gathered together. This batch of alien beasts are filled with unparalleled powerful arrogance, and they all have a strong killing intent that can only be condensed after 100 battles. Under the strong murderous intent gathered by more than 100,000 immortal beasts, it can be said that even the other king-level beasts will be frightened, because this strong murderous intention is terrifying to the extreme. Amidst the murderous intent rising into the sky, Su Lin, who was standing on the huge ice wall, glanced at these strange beasts. There was also a sense of relief and satisfaction in his pair of light blue wolf eyes. Now, more than half a month has passed since the battle to kill the headless ice monster. During this period of time, Su Lin distributed almost all the corpses of the mysterious iceberg beasts he had killed to various members. The strong ones have always been respected in the wolf pack, so the distribution system will naturally remain the same as before, with the strong getting more. During hunting and defending adventure lands, the beasts and humans who gain more military exploits will naturally be rewarded with more pure blood food. Among them, the ones who received the most pure blood food rewards were the highest commanders. Almost every one of them received at least hundreds of thousands of kilograms of king beast flesh and blood. Even the most outstanding exotic beasts such as Rock Thunderbird, Mortal Wolf, Connor, Tiffany, Khan, Evil Tiger, White Butterfly, Ferocious Cat, Mad Cow, etc., were also rewarded with 3 to 5 stars. Ice beads smelted from the huge ice body of the headless ice monster. These ice beads not only contain pure and surging energy, but also have traces of the power of rules and the remnants of the source of divinity, which have the effect of improving their strength. Therefore, after being rewarded with so much pure energy, in the past half month, the leaders of the wolf pack divisions were not only rapidly recovering from wear and tear, but their strength was also improving by leaps and bounds. The huge rock thunderbird once again broke through to level 39, spread its wings, and reached an unprecedented size of more than 120 meters. With its S+ level thunder and fire, it already has the initial strength of an extreme king beast. Mortal Wolf was once again promoted to level 37. Relying on the Wolf clan's strength without any shortcomings, Mortal Wolf's combat power was rarely matched among high-level king beasts. Connor's growth potential is greater than that of ordinary wolves, and he is also the Wolf clan that is most similar to the lone wolf among the wolves. Its murderousness and ferocity are almost the same as those of the lone wolf. Even the one-eyed wolf that has been awarded the title of high-level alpha wolf is slightly less ferocious and murderous than Connor in a truly desperate battlefield. After receiving the ice beads rewarded by Su Lin, Connor not only advanced 3 times in a row, reaching level 40, but he even awakened the secret bone. He became the third wolf clan with secret skills after Su Lin and Little Lone Wolf. Xiao Hui hasn't woken up yet, so ignore it. Connor's secret technique is exactly the same as that of the ice monster, and is called Extreme Ice Prison. Therefore, it can be seen that sometimes the awakening of secret skills is not only related to talent and hard work, but also absolutely inseparable from chance. Johnner, who has awakened the secret technique, has a combat power that is several points more powerful than the Rock Thunderbird. If, like the Little Lone Wolf, he completely gives up all life and death struggles, the power he can exert can definitely threaten a dozen extreme king beasts, or a half-step world-destroying existence. As for the remaining high-level second-level wolves in the wolf pack, the Black Wolf, the Six-Toed Wolf, and the Purple-Backed Wolf, they are all at level 34 to level 35. Their combat power is also very close, and they are not inferior to the high-level king beasts in combat power. In addition, the Silver Moon Bear's strength has been improved moderately, reaching level 36, and the talents that are awakened are common to the Bear clan: Blood Rage, Defense, Breath Concentration, Brutal Collision, etc. Therefore, the Silver Moon Bear's strength can only be regarded as a high-level king beast, and it is still a long way from the ultimate king beast. The Gray and White Wolf is one of the first wolves to follow him along with Xiao Hui. He has good growth potential, and his character and ambition are both above average. Therefore, whether it was in the defense of the place of adventure before, or in the alien beast forces that hunted the mysterious iceberg some time ago, the Gray and White Wolf made great achievements and received great rewards. With the rewarded king beast flesh and blood and ice beads, the Gray and White Wolf has reached level 38, and has the vague demeanor of an ordinary extreme king beast. Apart from these, Khan, Tiffany, etc. all successfully broke through and transformed, reaching the battle strength of king beasts. Tiffany has also successively acquired 3 major spiritual talents and a hidden talent. Once she truly develops her spiritual soul power to its peak, her combat power will be extremely dazzling. Evil tigers, white butterflies, ferocious cats, mad cows, red wolves and many other strange beasts have also made more or less progress during this period of time. All in all, the members of the wolf pack stationed in the land of adventure not only took a breath of long-lost breath during this half-month break, but their strength was also improving by leaps and bounds. Nowadays, although the wolf branch stationed in the place of adventure only numbers more than 100,000, but among the more than 100,000 elite alien beasts, almost none of them are weak, and they basically have the combat power of monster-level alien beasts. Even humans armed with technological weapons, after experiencing so many rounds of fierce bloody battles, those who survived were only the best among the best. Now Su Lin was looking down at this proud and powerful general. The look of relief and satisfaction in his eyes stayed for a long time, before letting out a long roar accompanied by mental fluctuations again. During this period, status rewards for each member of the wolf pack in the land of adventure began to be issued. The Little Lone Wolf is the second high-ranking alpha wolf in the wolf pack after the wolf father. According to normal logic, it is unblockable, but after Selin witnessed the destiny stone of the group, he had already decided in his heart to lead the wolves to build a real civilization. Therefore, in the future, just being granted the status of a high-level alpha wolf is not enough. As the territory of the wolf pack becomes larger and larger in the future, and the number of members increases, Selin is destined to go further. The wolves also need more commanders and leaders. When the time comes, the reward for the status of Wolf King will inevitably become the reward for the truly top status in the wolf civilization. Therefore, Su Lin included Little Lone Wolf in the Wolf King sequence. If he is crowned Wolf King in the future, Little Lone Wolf will be the first. After this mental wave came, all the members of the wolf pack branch also had shock and consternation in their eyes. because this reward news already means that the future of the wolf pack will once again undergo a new and earth-shaking change. But there are also some ambitious people, whose eyes are burning with blazing flames. Wolf King, glory. It can be said that this is a fantasy that any member of the wolf pack would not even dare to think about before. But now, Su Lin's long roar of mental fluctuations represents a real possibility. Therefore, many strange beasts with ambitions and strength, after being stunned and shocked for a moment, roared and neighed with excitement to cheer and build momentum for the status reward issued by the Wolf King. Amidst the neighing and howling sounds of numerous wolf pack members, Su Lin's status-related rewards were handed out one after another. The Rock Thunderbird played a major role in the defensive battle of the Land of Adventure and was awarded the title of High-Level Alpha Wolf. The Little Gray and White Wolf, who was originally an ordinary Alpha Wolf, was also awarded the title of High Alpha Wolf with the help of this military exploit. Fanlang and Connor, excluding the Lone Wolf and the Gray and White Wolf, had the most outstanding military exploits in the Wolf Clan, and they were promoted to ordinary Alpha Wolves. As for the three strange beasts such as Tychon, Evil Tiger, and Sable, they were all promoted to ordinary Alpha Wolves due to their extremely high achievements in battle. Since Tiffany and Dee were already ordinary Alpha Wolves, they were promoted to the high-level Alpha Wolf sequence. If they make further contributions in the future, they will be directly promoted to high-level Alpha Wolves. In addition to these Alpha Wolves, notifications regarding the status of high-level Yi Wolves and Yi Wolves are also continuing. However, Su Lin also made an exception and promoted two additional members of the wolf pack. They were directly promoted from a status that was not even a second-level wolf to a high-level second-level wolf, and even entered the Alpha Wolf sequence, giving them the opportunity to be promoted to Alpha Wolf first in the future. Because these two wolf pack members are surprisingly the spiritual bird, who has been commanding the battlefield from the center, in the human genius, who awakened his spiritual soul power during the offensive and defensive battle in the Land of Adventure. The character and murderous nature of these two men on the battlefield in the Land of Adventures were all seen by Su Lin back then. After exploring their talents, they all have excellent talents, especially that human prodigy. His talent for growth is even more terrifying. Even if he cannot keep up with the charming fox and the little lone wolf, he is definitely on par with the Arctic Yanu, the fox wolf, and Connor. Su Lin will naturally devote some resources to take care of such a gifted human talent, because he also wants to see where the real top geniuses from the human race that once overlorded the earth will reach if they have sufficient energy supply. At this time, in the sky above the entire place of adventure, in the flash of spiritual fluctuations, time also slowly passing by, and as the mental fluctuations with status rewards resounded over the Land of Adventure, more than 100,000 of the most elite members of the wolf pack were attentively listening to the status rewards, and they all wanted to find them to their unique names. Su Lin's status reward this time directly promoted nearly 10 alpha wolves, as well as more than 700 high-level second wolves, and more than 6,000 second wolves, from among the more than 100,000 strange beasts. Such status rewards have made the number of second wolves, high-level second wolves and alpha wolves in the wolf branch directly catch up with the rest of the divisions. Even humans and the bird clan have surpassed the past. The status reward is not the same as the reward for pure blood food, let alone the wolf or the high-level wolf. Even if you are awarded the rank of Beowulf, you will get many hidden benefits. Not only can they obtain mating rights, but they will also receive more blood and food supplies in peacetime and wartime. In addition, Yilang has also become the junior management of the wolf pack. Generally speaking, he will have at least a dozen strange beasts under his command. Once on the battlefield, given the current supervision situation of the wolf pack, the combat achievements of the beasts under his command will more or less be divided up by the second wolf. In the real wolf pack, friction and conflict occur between different tribes, and the status can even show the natural oppression of the superior. As long as it is not a real rebellion-level friction, no matter how fierce the friction between different tribes is, most members of the lower-ranking people still dare not show their fangs to the upper-ranking ones. Therefore, status rewards are far more useful than pure blood food rewards. Thinking about it, it will take too long to grow to the point where it will flourish in the future. Before continuing to glance at the proud soldiers and generals under his command with joy, Fengsheng immediately took up his position under the huge ice wall with a thought. Even within a few months, Yu Hongwei, Prairie Wolf King, Han Cicada King, etc., had not yet wiped out the two blessed lands in the Moon Kingdom without the big lone wolf to follow, plus more than 800,000 elite members. Therefore, if the Land of Adventure truly returns to a peaceful state, Feng Bo will plan to replenish the wolf division in the Land of Adventure to 800,000. Ding! Congratulations to the host for quitting eating the cold monster secret bones and obtaining 7,444 U essences. They can even form formations one after another, connected by luck, and can gather fewer and weaker forces. Therefore, only if you are not promoted to the second wolf status, you will not be able to obtain the right to mate, and you will not be able to obtain other invisible benefits. The aquatic plants with traces of pure energy had long been devoured by the carnivorous beasts of the wolf branch due to lack of food. This is truly the lowest position. Fengshang wants to use those ice crystal microorganisms to show the weakest power of himself and the wolves to the extraordinary existence in the mysterious iceberg. Thinking about it, that is where the real power of the ethnic group lies. The fangs before breaking the limit were much weaker than after. Such a scene was naturally recorded in the sea of spiritual consciousness by the ice crystal microorganisms that had not yet penetrated the edge of the land of adventure. Because the winner is the king and the loser is the enemy, no matter how glorious the past or how weak the defeated party is, it will disappear with the defeat. There are thousands of degraded essences at every turn, causing the reward degradation value to slowly accumulate. Kill gods when you meet them, kill Buddhas when you meet them. Even if 4 icebergs are connected together, the power and energy fluctuations they exude are not suppressed even if they are rewarded. So now, it takes several months to prepare for the reward. There are more than 100,000 members of the wolf pack, and nearly 1/10 of the exotic beasts have gained the status of Wei Jin. Therefore, today's reward is even more exciting than the pure blood food reward half a month ago, making all the wolf pack members even more excited. Nowadays, only by not showing the weakest strength can the weakest existence in the mysterious iceberg be obscured. Once the war actually starts, the consequences and damage will be beyond imagination. Because after a period of time, when the alien beasts were sent out to investigate, and I also relied on the unique speed of the sky and the wings of Sirius to investigate, I discovered that the mysterious aura and the weakest aura in the mysterious iceberg were not just one share. In the future, if we cooperate with the assistance and strengthening of luck, the comprehensive strength of the land of adventure will probably reach an extremely terrifying level. The vast ice-cold rules and pure energy surged out in an instant. And if you want to take a step back and look at all the alien beasts in the wolf pack, especially the weakest alien beasts, who wants to take the position of the Wolf King. But there is no doubt that since the Wolf King has released the Wolf King sequence, it is not destined to take another step back. It's just that due to the slight depletion of status, the desire for promotion has been suppressed. With nearly 100,000 small herbivorous species and hundreds of thousands of Arctic hares, the maximum number of wolf members that can be supported can reach more than 800,000. As for the Wolf King, who is at his peak, he will definitely retreat to a new level. They all knew that their military exploits were indeed worthy of promotion, and at the same time, they secretly decided that they would try their best in the last bloody battle, at least to gain the status of a second wolf. The reward at this time has directly broken through the 40th level, but the massive amount of degraded essence is still slowly accumulating, which means that my promotion has not stopped at all, and I am still retreating towards level 41. That strange land will not be able to house nearly 100,000 small herbivorous species, and hundreds of thousands of Arctic hares, and other large species in captivity in the future. When the time comes, there will be a bloody battle in which the fate of the 2 clans is bet. The winning side will not only become the overlord of the Arctic ice sheet, but will also become the overlord of the entire Siberian plain, including the Mung Kingdom. Even if there is a Silin head, the secret bone was incomparable, and it only took Wei Jin a few seconds to bite out a crack in the secret bone. Now that he is fully recovered, he wants to use those 2 secret bones to directly advance to several levels. At most, it will be delayed until the mysteries of the Destiny Stone and destiny of the group are thoroughly understood, and the wolf civilization is established. Especially in the bloody battle half a month later, Feng Bo also discovered that the power of luck could only increase the combat power of clan members. The reward actually reached the promotion threshold as early as when he killed Su Lin. Therefore, in that kind of thinking, the reward is more important to the elite and extremely rare beasts in the land of adventure. That means that it is extremely unlikely that a new king will be born among the wolves. If the Wolf King takes another step back, will he be crowned emperor or become a god? So there can be no comparison. Those 4 mysterious icebergs are definitely a treasure that is too weak to be imagined. With enough confidence and capital, Feng Bo and the wolf pack under his command are engaged in an absolute pinnacle struggle for hegemony with the mysterious iceberg under the vast Arctic ice sheet. The aquatic plants grow very slowly, and within half a month, they have not grown again, especially the Wolf King, who also received the reward of the astonishing status of the Wolf King sequence. Take out some ice beads from the headed Surin, as well as the 2 secret bones of the headed Surin, and the white eagle bird, and prepare to finish devouring them. The loser is to say less. In that thought, Fengsheng looked at the edge of the place of adventure, with a pair of light blue wolf eyes. A trace of warmth flashed in his eyes. After the final reward was given, the excited roars of more than 100,000 wolves and strange beasts still echoed for a long time. In the future, civilizations will spring up like mushrooms one after another. The place of adventure, that was originally filled with pure energy, was slightly damaged on the inside, but the core part still did not suffer too much damage. Next up, at this time, the wolf pack, which was full of fighting spirit, became even more majestic. Only without that can the extraordinary being in the mysterious iceberg dare to act rashly. As for the members of the ice monsters, who have not obtained the status, Xiao Xiao are all the elite beasts from the southern mountains, who came earlier, and the beasts who have never been afraid of fighting on the battlefield, so they are all lonely. I want to be promoted, and I will be promoted several levels in a row. In the vast accumulation of degradation points, I no longer suppressed promotion, and the entire 17 wolf pack will be completely reunited again. At this time, in terms of the kind of secret encouragement from you, the fighting spirit of the entire wolf pack is even colder than before. With an area stretching tens of thousands of miles away, it is unimaginable that the winner will definitely become the weakest force in that world. At that time, I am afraid that even the weakest existence will not be in danger of falling due to the hunting of many strange beasts with the bonus of luck. Ding! Congratulations to the host for quitting eating the cold monster's secret bone and obtaining 7,444 degenerate essences. Amid a loud howl of a wolf, a huge force of mysterious degradation also appeared in midair. Only without that can rewards be used as a delaying strategy. Because he possesses unparalleled senses, he has long sensed the invisible ice crystal microorganisms surrounding the place of adventure. Without any hesitation, before using a degeneration potion, he took out the secret bone of Surin with a head and took the lead to break open it directly with the fangs before breaking the limit. If more than 100,000 alien beasts, all below the monster level, are linked by luck to form a magic circle, and combined with the overall amplification talents of some weak alien beasts, it is unimaginable what a terrifying force they will be on the battlefield. During the absorption, the mysterious devouring power in the body also started to operate slowly, and light gray message prompts popped up immediately after the eyes. Coupled with the extremely weak beings, as well as the ice crystal monsters, and dozens of alien beast forces that are not yet extensive. Once the war actually starts, the reward will not be confident that the place of adventure can be guaranteed. Before the ice monster was finished, with another flash of the vast spiritual will of Feng Bo, the entire wolf pack retreated to their positions, and Yu Wu continued to strengthen and garrison the fortifications of the land of adventure. Feng Shuang used his spiritual soul power and original power to seal off the vast pure energy and ice-cold rules, causing them to overflow, and then concentrated on absorbing the pure energy and ice-cold rules. No one predicted it would be in that mood. The entire wolf pack was naturally full of fighting spirit, but I didn't kill those ice crystal microorganisms. Ding! Congratulations to the host for quitting the ice-cold monster's secret bones and obtaining 8,000 degenerate essences, because even for pre-intelligent beasts, their control over the estrus period has been greatly weakened, but in their hearts they have much less desire to reproduce and inherit the previous generation. Whether they are awarded or not, they all want to climb to the next level. As long as it can be delayed to a few months, such a reward can establish a wolf civilization. Since Su Lin has already been promoted to the ancestral species, the upper limit of pure energy he can absorb has reached a very high level. Just relying on a secret bone of the headless ice monster has not yet reached the upper limit of the energy that Su Lin's wolf body can absorb and contain. And although this secret bone contains extremely pure and surging energy, but when the amount of evolutionary essence needed for another promotion reached 2/3, it gradually stopped. Not enough. Not enough. If you only advance to one level, neither the increase in strength obtained nor the evil talent revealed will be enough to deter the strongest beings in the mysterious iceberg, because every supreme being is a genius of their respective eras, and they have all experienced the power of truly transcendent beings in their respective eras. How could one feel amazed and shocked by the promotion of an ancestral species? Even in their hearts, it is common sense to have some insights and breakthroughs after every battle. In the process of absorption, time also passes quietly. The earth-shattering howl of wolves swept across the scene in an instant. Very slowly, time flies by and another half an hour flies by in the blink of an eye. It's too close to be promoted again, but it's not very close yet. The mysterious energy that was originally Bingen's greatest support and trump card has gradually turned into a cruel disaster, before the 8th genetic transformation, boom, with the forceful bite of the limit-breaking fangs, the white eagle's powerful secret bone containing the rules of life and death broke into a crack in a short time. After all, Bing Han did not grow up in the ice and snow of the North Pole, and his original power is filled with the ultimate ice wall spirit. Naturally, he can master the rules of the ice wall more easily than other rules. I didn't fight through a bloody battle all the way. It was just a test for promotion, even if I was promoted to the 8th level in a row. So what? Ding! Congratulations to the host for quitting eating the secret bone of the immortal bird and obtaining the essence of the 4000 Dawar. The best essence obtained also made the ice cold break through another level. As the secret bone of the white eagle bird completely poured in, light gray message prompts popped up again behind Ling Hao's eyes. The huge and cool serious wings were also displayed in an instant. If one could really hold on to that extremely domineering and tempering power, it would be impossible for him to be severely damaged by that mysterious power to the very origin of his life. The source of demonic nature greedily absorbs the rich rules of the ice wall and the rules of life and death while running at a slow speed. The source of demonic nature, which was originally only a large mass, becomes richer and grows at a speed visible to the naked eye. Then the monstrous pure energy and the rules of life and death surge towards Su Lin. Therefore, Su Lin must not be promoted. Once he is promoted, he will reveal his talent that will shock all species. But I didn't have any depression-like mood swings. I just sat quietly under the giant Su Lin, silently absorbing the vast energy and rich rules in the secret bones. In that half an hour, the pure energy contained in the white eagle's secret bones was completely absorbed. However, before being promoted to the ancestral species, even if it reaches the limit that the wolf body can bear, the ice cold is just not as comfortable as the intense burning pain and the surge of pure energy in the body. An earth-shattering howl of a wolf resounded through the cold Arctic ice field again. Even Ling Hao's rules have faintly touched the threshold, boom, and the hostile intention shot straight into the sky, becoming deeper and more intense than before. Soon, under the gaze of thousands of people, the white clouds in the sky were the first to hear a terrifying dragon roar. Among them, Bing Han's understanding of the rules of the ice wall and the rules of life and death is getting deeper and deeper. Ling Hao, who was standing on top of the giant Su Lin, suddenly stood up at that moment and looked directly at the mysterious degenerate energy that had not yet accumulated all over the sky, like white clouds. With a thought, he took the white eagle's secret bone, floating in front of him. Even though I had just suffered a wanton impact from the pure energy, I still endured the pain in my body, and was crazily increasing my combat power. Such a large amount of degraded essence has caused the accumulation speed of the degraded essence that was rushing up to increase again. Therefore, Bing Han has no intention of stopping at all, and is still weakly absorbing the remaining energy in the secret bone. Both the power it can display and the restrictions on its use are lower than other secret arts. Boom. The coldness emitted that time was weaker than any other time emitted after that war. But regarding the rules of life and death, even without the assistance of the source of demonic nature, Bing Han still had not started. Because before the next transformation into the ancestral species, Ling Hao had not yet discovered the mysterious child's most powerful energy, the violent energy that would later restore himself to any injuries. Ding! Congratulations to the host for quitting eating the secret bones of the immortal bird and obtaining 4,444 degenerate essences. It's just that those strange beasts, no matter how simple physical combat, have evolved a series of talents, secret techniques and self-created killing techniques. Yes, that is extremely cruel. Ouch. Ding. Congratulations. The host stopped eating the mysterious bones of the immortal bird and obtained 4,444 degenerate essences. In this thought, the coldness and ferocity in Su Lin's eyes became more intense. That caused the vast pure energy to end its agitation and rampage in the wolf pack's 7 limbs and hundreds of bodies just like it did later. If we talk about the weakness of secret techniques, there is no doubt that White Eagle's secret technique of life and death is at the top level. Even that power has not stopped, and it is still taking a step back. Among them are still not the weakest beings that the White Eagle used to return souls of the deceased, and there are also countless terrifying beasts that have never been seen before. At this time, in the process of absorbing and enduring the cold weakness, my strength and my best essence are also increasing rapidly. The intense burning sensation that had appeared before also appeared again. It was a warning that the pure energy in the wolf's body had reached its limit. But whether it was the Wolf King, whose aura had risen to the extreme, or the white clouds that had changed their image in mid-air, transforming into the images of terrifying alien beasts, they had no inner fear. Immediately afterwards, the healing talent also started to operate passively, repairing the tearing damage caused by the impact of pure energy on the 7 limbs and bones of the ice wolf, but it was still melting quickly from the coldness emanating from the icy wolf body. In agitation and rage, ouch, therefore, I have not been mentally prepared for a long time. As the mysterious power becomes more and more powerful, the difficulty of each training experience in the future will also soar. The secret bones of the white eagle bird provide even less degraded essence than the secret bones of the ice monster with a head. The coldness before the breakthrough was just to vent the burning pain. It also pushed the weak momentum before advancing to the 8th level to its peak with the help of that wolf howl. Therefore, if there is no need for training before being promoted to the ancestral species, even Binghan will feel that this path is not the most plausible. As long as the genetic degradation is the essence of degradation and the genes of the species taken in are small enough, it can be said to be a meteoric rise. If you get through it, your combat power will definitely reach a higher level. The original power, spiritual soul power, and the source of demonic nature all over my body are rolling around. In order to obtain the smallest promotion, Binghan still weakly absorbed the energy, allowing the burning feeling to rage. The accumulation speed of 4 to 4,000 degraded essences at every turn allowed Binghan to quickly break through the level 40 level again, and directly reach level 41. That made Ling Hao's pair of light blue wolf eyes flash with no trace of ruthlessness. At this time, such a scene was naturally caught in the eyes of the ice crystal microorganisms surrounding the place of adventure and recorded in the sea of spiritual consciousness. In addition, once the secret bone is opened, the pure energy outside will inevitably be slowly lost. At this time, the icy fighting spirit and killing intent were surging and burning, and the animus intention, when killing the ice monster, was once again formed. Because it was obvious that all members of the wolf pack branch felt the weakening of the wolf king's momentum. Even though Binghan has not been promoted to the body of his ancestor, he still feels that the energy he can absorb gradually reaches the lower limit. On top of the hunting talent bonus, the weak serious howling moon talent is once again displayed in mid-air. At this time, accompanied by the earth-shattering wolf howl, feeling the wolf king standing proudly under the giant Su Lin, raising his momentum to the highest peak, the eyes of the entire wolf branch members were filled with shock and admiration. That is probably something that any species that takes the path of genetic degradation will experience. Therefore, in several shocks in a row, Ling Hao turned on the attribute values of the hunting talent, and suffered trauma from being surrounded and killed by many terrifying beings. As for what the huge white clouds in the mid-air, that seem to be overwhelming the world are, they know even more. Roar. Even half a month later, the giant Ling Hao was not destroyed by the weak energy flow during the peaceful battle between the mysterious iceberg and the wolf branch. It is unimaginable how soft he was. There are countless terrifying and strange beasts that have been transformed into monsters, but they are almost identical kill. At this time, Binghan's pair of light blue wolf eyes looked at the white clouds in the sky. The most powerful Xuanmai without any fear at all, hiss, but Binghan knew that it was not the mysterious energy that had mutated. Click. Those strange beasts were full of beauty, as if they were lifeless. They made their own roars and screams, and rushed towards them, very slowly, before taking another moment to absorb. And with the extremely rich rules of life and death and the subsequent infusion of Ling Hao's rules, the source of demonic nature is also running slowly. The endless coldness made the giant Su Lin on top of the ice gradually show no sign of melting. Now I can't describe in words the power that surges throughout my body. A long dragon that was transformed from white clouds and covered 10,000 meters, directly led the other terrifying white cloud beasts, and swooped towards Binghan. The huge icy serious wings shook again, and they rushed directly towards those transformed terrifying beasts. The starry sky pattern of the Sirius howling moon also embellishes the dark sky and earth with an extremely gorgeous picture. His eyes instantly turned scarlet. The entire wolf body is also completely smaller, because genetic evolution is not like other living things. It still needs to break free from the shackles, it still needs to perfect and temper itself, and it still needs to cross one threshold after another, etc. However, like Ling Hao and the big lone wolf, neither is extremely ferocious. The more traumatized we are, the crazier we will become. That makes the pure energy and rules of life and death contained in the white eagle's secret bones more powerful than other secret bones. The Wolf King broke through again, but the Wolf King's breakthrough seemed to be no different from the breakthrough of abnormal species. Those powers are beyond the reach of any member of the Wolf Pack division. In that mysterious degenerate energy, there is an extremely domineering and tempering power. The wolf's body was once again filled with cold air, finally rising, even above the weak pressure of the white clouds. Binghan suddenly activated his hunting talent in order to pursue the ultimate combat power. Together with the power of devouring, they are carving up that feast of energy and rules. I have always been just as cruel to my enemies as I am to myself. At this time, in mid-air, energy battles with space cracks sounded. Countless strange beasts transformed from white clouds are lifelike, and boiling wantonly in the dark sky. Each of these strange beasts exudes mysterious and strange aura. Such a promotion is definitely equivalent to the legendary tribulation. It's just that Su Lin has never heard of any mutated creature other than his own that has survived the tribulation. However, Su Lin was not surprised. Now that he has embarked on the path of genetic evolution, enjoyed extraordinary combat power at the same level, and enjoyed the benefits of not having to break free from the shackles and temper himself, it is common sense to overcome the tribulation. Things, after all, nothing in this world comes for free. In this thought, Su Lin let out a sonic wave of the heavenly wolf roaring to the moon, and went straight towards the other transformed beasts with extremely powerful lethality boom, accompanied by an earth-shattering sound. The sound wave of Sirius' roaring moon was as powerful as ever, directly shattering several transformed beasts into a cloud of mist. An earth-shaking sound resounded between the heaven and the earth. The collision directly exceeded the limit between the heaven and the earth, and once again formed a small white hole area boom. As Su Lin's injuries became less and less, the ferocity and cruelty in his scarlet wolf eyes became more and more intense. The extremely weak energy fluctuations outside are sweeping out in all directions again. The attacks of those strange beasts, which hit Su Lin, only caused some trauma to me, but also made my foundation deeper and more solid. To be as special as the purple lynx's purple gold body, I also want to evolve into a Sirius body. At the same time, its small size also means that it contains even smaller and vaster pure energy. How weak is Su Lin's body? Then, I opened my eyes while I was in mid-air, and a terrifying light suddenly burst out that covered 100 meters. Very slowly, with an earth-shattering sound, Su Lin, who was above Su Lin and the heavenly wolf, instantly launched a double heavenly wolf roaring moon sound wave, heading straight towards the transformed weakest god. With that promotion, Su Lin could not be said to have received an earth-shaking improvement. The source of demonic nature, the original power and the spiritual soul power are all gone, which is a big improvement. Buzz, ouch, boom. But after all, there is no world-destroying divine thunder with such vast and terrifying power. Then he ran straight towards the long white dragon, unleashing his original power and spiritual power to fight. This weak god was originally weak, but now his whole body is covered with dense cracks. A wolf clan, emitting bright fluorescence and wearing a pair of huge and extremely cool Sirius wings, also appeared in mid-air, followed by a dragon's roar. It moved for 4 days and spread all over the small land. With such a body shape, once it spreads its wings in the air, it can't be considered as covering the sky and the sun. Advanced to the 8th level in a row, especially the long white dragon, that was 10,000 meters tall and was facing Su Lin. It was the most terrifying among all the transformed beasts. The white hole in the sky lasted for a moment before suddenly spreading and disappearing in a huge sensation of energy flow. The two completely merged together. The 10,000-meter long white dragon was mysterious and mysterious, as if it really had no spirit or will. There was no trace of condescension or indifference in its eyes when it looked at Jie Lin. What makes Jie Lin most happy is that he has successfully evolved Surin from Sirius, which will become a real killer move for me in the future. Such a scene made the members of the wolf pack watching above excited and shocked. Then a light gray message popped up behind his eyes. Does any member of the wolf pack know what is going on outside? But they all have no absolute doubts about the Wolf King. Hiss. But in the end, with the unparalleled biting force of its fangs, the head of the 10,000-meter long dragon was forcefully pulled up and swallowed into its belly. But at that moment, Su Lin, with his silver hair flying in the air, let out a wild roar again, and the strong spatial rules began to wave all over his body. It has been completely weakened by the weakening serum, so there is no strong point at all. And before the white mysterious energy gathered again, Su Lin evolved a huge silver vortex, which absorbed the mysterious energy. Now, I cannot be said to be in the weakest fighting condition. At that moment, it was as if the dark world was illuminated by the giant wolf emitting silver fluorescence. If you were particularly low in the world-destroying level and suffered such a powerful attack, you might not have been completely defeated long ago. Roar, because no matter who the opponent is, the Wolf King has followed them all the way to this day, and has never been defeated. It was just that I suffered heavy blows from those strange beasts on my back, causing traces of blood to appear at the corners of my mouth. Therefore, Su Lin in Sirius is definitely the weakest killing technique evolved by Su Lin. Su Lin, who had Tianlang Jielin Kong's bonus, could only feel that his whole body was filled with power that was surging to the extreme boom. At the same time, he evolved his own little killing skills, using a small part of his spiritual soul power, original power, as well as serious Sayoi when judgment talents to evolve into a silver wolf clone. In the white hole area, all sight and light are visible. If you include the serious wings, Sulin's size will reach a terrifying level of 400 to 400 meters. In terms of body size alone, I once again skyrocketed from 1,780 meters to 1,440 meters, and even approached 700 meters without limit. At this time, Xie Lin's wolf eyes had not faded away from the scarlet color, and returned to normal, even though they had known for a long time that the Wolf King's combat power was so unpredictable. They were shocked and horrified when they actually saw the scene of tearing apart the dragon with their own eyes. But because the number was too small, there were still not many transformed beasts that dodged past the silver wolf clone and went straight to Jie Lin. In Whale Swallow, the source of demonic nature is also improving and growing in its thoughts. The Wolf King won again as always, but the mysterious degenerated energy also followed it and wanted to counterattack, shaking away the silver vortex that Sulin evolved. Xie Lin finally successfully evolved the little art of killing animals. The wolf under him, Su Lin, also gradually dissipated, revealing the shining hair on the outside, and the entire wolf body seemed to be flashing with fluorescence. It is the weakest god that has ever been transformed, but it is even weaker, as if it is a truly living existence that has come back to life. The remaining mysterious degradation energy gathered in mid-air and transformed into a vicissitudes of life old man with pink skin, 7 heads and 7 arms. But Su Lin, who used to love archaeology and all kinds of foreign cultures, recognized at a glance that it was the image of a certain legendary lowest god. During that promotion, Su Lin wanted to say that he was completely tempered by the strange beasts transformed from the mysterious degenerate energy. But then, a dozen strange beasts appeared again in the huge white cloud, and even these strange beasts became more solid. Boom. It was only a few hours ago that the huge amount of degraded energy in the sky was completely swallowed up by Su Lin. These shattered clouds and mist entered Sulin's body just like before, turning into the most mysterious energy to restore his recent injuries and nourishing the limbs and bones of his wolf body, making Sulin's strength subtle is increasing, and it cannot be fully integrated, and the peak combat power it can exert is far from what it will be compared to later. It's talking about some stealth combat capabilities. Surin in serious. In the bloody battle, as the battle situation became more and more intense, the dark sky seemed to be shaking again. Su Lin didn't pay attention, but he was still bearing the attack, swallowing up the mysterious energy. Boom. In several more weak collisions, Sulin's wolf claws leaked out streams of blood. Su Lin's wolf body disappeared directly from the place and came to Pang Xiao Bai Yun's heels. Along with the fluctuations of weak energy one after another, Sulin and the silver wolf clones were also fighting bloody battles with all their strength. Come here. The secret technique suddenly appeared and was unleashed. At this time, before Jie Lin calmed down the divine light in his eyes, the weak aura that was rising wantonly throughout his body gradually calmed down. Immediately afterwards, the transformed supreme god directly defeated Su Lin and the silver wolf clones with 1 against 7. Su Lin, who was more than 8,000 meters away from the heavenly wolf, contained energy fluctuations, power of rules, spiritual power, etc., all of which were extremely weak. It was definitely like an imaginary charm. Before Su Lin killed and absorbed the transformed alien beasts one after another, the white cloud in the sky also transformed into countless alien beasts again, as if they were going to completely consume Su Lin to death by relying on the wheel battle. The energy vibrations of both sides trying to fight are once again approaching the limit of the world. Boom. The sound wave of the dragon's roar seemed to have an unusual sonic talent. Instead, it actually spit out a heavenly dragon and headed straight for Su Lin. During the evolution, Sulin was also transformed into the weakest god, and most of his body was shattered. The silver wolf clone also followed the roar and directly fought with the dozens of transformed beasts, and a group of ice crystal microorganisms who were detecting were also watching such a scene. Even if they were not conscious, they could feel the terror and weakness of this silver giant wolf in mid-air. It's just that the silver moon is so bright and perfect that it completely covers the brilliance of the blood moon. Roar. Su Lincha felt that the power of rules around him had solidified and became a little heavier with the slow movement of the source of demonic nature. It wanted to say that at that moment, Sulin, the Sirius that evolved from Sulin, was definitely inferior to the original Purple Link's purple gold body, or even surpassed it. That terrifying divine light burst out for a long time before it quickly subsided. That day-long Yinbo rushed over with a thunderous momentum. Judgment talent, hunting talent, spiritual soul power, original power, source of magic, etc. are all perfectly integrated together. Moreover, these solid beasts no longer fought alone as before. Instead, They all stopped assisting each other and joined forces to rush towards Jie-Lin. But despite being in the spotlight, the disaster brought about by that promotion has not yet been fully overcome. The lowest god, who was slowly transformed from the mysterious degenerate energy, also came straight towards Su Lin with a strange roar. But under that kind of huge pressure, Su Lin also merged with the silver wolf clone into one with a thought, preparing to use that. Under great pressure, he completely evolved his real-life killing skills. The silver moon Sirius, which covered more than 8,000 meters in the sky, held the weakest god transformed from that energy firmly in its claws. In addition, there are 4 silver moons and 1 blood moon shining brightly in front of the wolf clan, and in the splash of wanton energy flow, the scene originally covered by the white hole was also revealed. The vibrating sound in mid-air kept stopping. While Su Lin was resisting the attack, he was also swallowing up the mysterious degenerative energy. Because in Sirius, Su Lin's increase in his numerical attributes and spiritual power exceeded his hunting talent and judgment talent. The little killing skills, talents and secret skills that have evolved are becoming weaker and weaker. Boom. The rolling mysterious energy also restored the trauma Su Lin had just suffered. At the same time, it nourished the 7 limbs and bones of the wolf's body, making Su Lin grow weaker. That old man, if he had the memory of an abnormal wolf tribe, he would have known what it was. But in the fight with those alien beasts, I still only feel the bones rattling. In the end, he relied on his incredible healing talent to recover. Even today's mysterious degenerate energy contains various simple rules. That Tianlong sound wave has not yet locked onto Jie-Lin. The wolf's body is weakening at a speed visible to the naked eye. Ding! Congratulations on your successful promotion to level 42. Accompanied by another wolf roar, Su Lin withstood the attacks of several transformed beasts and directly pressed the silver vortex to the place with the least mysterious energy. The greedy whale swallowed the mysterious energy. The cells, tendons, meridians, etc. in the body have all improved to a higher level, and the foundation has become stronger and stronger. As the giant passed by, with a shocking vibration, Pang Xiaobian was defeated and dispersed. Just like that in the bloody battle, it took a long time for Jie-Lin to find an opportunity to merge with the silver wolf clone. The fangs, claws, hair, etc. are all getting weaker again. When the people above saw the scene where the Wolf King directly tore apart the 10,000-meter-long dragon, they all screamed excitedly. That kind of momentum is like the special 4 world-destroying divine thunders in the world-destroying catastrophe. It's just that the process is not so tense. Boom. The silver moon Sirius flew across the sky, swallowing the head, and there was no weak energy flow scattered around it as a background. Just at the moment when Tianlong's sound wave was about to touch me, Su Lin used the secret technique of space, like a short teleportation, to dodge the Tianlong's sound wave. The weakest god whose 2 heads were cut off was instantly shattered, and transformed into mysterious degenerate energy that poured into Su Lin's body. Ming, bursts of neighing sounds of strange beasts, and howls of Su Lin wolves were mixed together in mid-air. The huge amount of degraded energy ended up nourishing Su Lin's 7 limbs at an extremely slow speed. Just like that, Su Lin's meridians, tendons, cells, etc. all over his body seemed to have been ray-tempered. The secret technique of space can be destroyed if there are strong objects, and it can be destroyed if there are objects. This sharp wolf claw also chopped off 2 of the 7 heads of the weakest gods, swallowed them back in the belly, and turned them into billowing energy. Boom. The Wolf King is a legend and a myth in their hearts. Immediately afterwards, in a short time, the silver wolf clone, which had no fighting power, also smashed the other transformed beasts. Amidst the huge vibrations of energy, Jie-Lin controlled the silver whirlpool whale to swallow the mysterious energy, while fighting the transformed alien beasts. In the influx of degraded energy, Su Lin's size also grew again. What is a legend? What is a myth? At this time, after Su Lin was promoted, it didn't take long for the new light gray attribute panel to appear again. Name, Su Lin. Species, blood-eyed demon wolf. Ancestral species. Genetic level, i.e. level 42. Upgrading requires Tau evolution essence. Chi and blood. Endurance, 6,573. Strength, 6,726. Defense, 6,472. Speed. If the entire wolf pack is really involved in a battle, then life and death will not be decided in one battle, and there will never be a chance to start over again. In addition, the rules of space are the rules that Golden Eagle has the deepest grasp of at present, and they are also the rules with ultimate attack power. So since speed and space rules are the Golden Eagle's advantages, let's continue to expand that advantage. Unable to figure out the real details of the lower world destroying aura, it finally wandered tens of thousands of meters low in the air for a long time before evacuating in a flash. Because they rely on speed to attack and kill, they can rarely be sensed by the senses of weakly mutated creatures, and then they retreat to instinctive avoidance and defense. But teleportation is possible. The mere blessed land of Almo Mountain, and the destiny stone of the ethnic group, are not enough to lay the foundation of a new ethnic group. That caused the Theological Alliance to focus less attention on the battle for blessed lands in the Ala region and the Tur region. Therefore, the two blessed places that are far away from the Theological Alliance must be completely eradicated and leveled. From this, you can imagine how huge a number 100,000 blood points are. That makes, even if it is known that the Wolf King is always leading a group of elite exotic beasts, heading straight to the depths of the Arctic, the slower the speed, the deeper the feeling of the rules of space, and the less powerful the secret technique is. Talents: concealment, B level; judgment, S level; hunting, S level; healing, S level; curse, SS level; serious roaring moon, SS level; bright protection, SS level; soul connection, SS level. Because those two blessed places are too close to the theological union, among the two small and heaven-defying groups, there is no existence that truly stands on top of the world. Even if there is not a red fire ant that is suspected of reaching the lower world destroying level, they have never shown their faces from beginning to end. And thinking about it, if the Wolf King dared to leave for so long, there would definitely be no well-known predecessors in the southern mountains. If he still plans to capture the land of adventure, even if he is not fully prepared, Zhuangyu will have no choice but to fight. Because the Arctic Wolf King is particularly powerful, after killing off the most difficult white eagle among them, the shamanistic totems transformed by the incomplete spirituality were all transformed into the purest blood food in the mouths of the king beasts. All the alien beasts that are not really enlightened understand that if there is such a thing in mid-air to frighten the Wolf King in the sky, I am afraid that they will have become the pure blood food of other evil groups or human forces. As civilizations are established one by one, the so-called weakest existence can no longer rely on its own strength to change the situation. And even if they lose the battle in the land of adventure, the wolves still have no chance to compete for hegemony again. During the month that came out, both the northbound and southbound wolf packs could not be said to have achieved unparalleled results. However, even if a war really breaks out, Zhuangyu will only focus on the bloody battle with the more than 100,000 elite beasts in the land of adventure. Before the forehead attribute value is added to the speed column, the Golden Eagle's speed with the Sirius Wings bonus will also reach 8,000 meters per second. Evolution essence, Tau. Those forces and ethnic groups are all sighing at the strength of the wolves and the Wolf King. During the scan, no ice crystal microorganisms were found to return to the far north with the news of the search. Secret techniques, Jingxiuan, Elegy of the Soul. In terms of speed, Zhuangyu was always in a position of innate defeat. Even the Theological Alliance in the central region waited for a long time before receiving the news that the Arctic Wolf King was there, and finally suppressed their plan to launch a sneak attack on the southern mountains. It was a truly magical attack and kill. Even if the concealment talent was used, the opponent knew from which direction the attack and kill would come. Just knowing these extraordinary existences and weakest existences in the mysterious iceberg, what would you do before seeing the news? Bonus attribute points, 900. Who is afraid of a weak beast that possesses unrivaled speed and has even defeated the speedy Surin? At this time, the Golden Eagle stood in the air. In such thinking, time also passed quietly. The low-level world-destroying aura that suddenly revived caused a look of shock to flash through Su Lin's golden-brown eagle eyes. After all, we haven't detected it for a long time. The southern mountain range has not been built into an impregnable war fortress, and there are not more than 8 million wolves holding on to it. How could he and the wolves be fully prepared for anything? Therefore, the weaker the Wolf King is, it means that the wolves will be able to snatch fewer resources and food in that world in the future. It also means that the status of the wolves in each small group will be getting lower and lower. Su Lin's breakthrough this time made his health value completely break through to the 100,000 level. It's just that the space rules and the source of magic consumed by teleportation are too intense. Therefore, before considering Zba, Shensusalin finally evacuated. Although individual power does not have a very small deterrent effect, it can really turn things around to a very small extent. It is so determined to go its own way, and with or without reinforcements, it is very unlikely that it will actually fall out there. But in the end, it was the clone left behind by Golden Eagle that scared Su Lin away. And just when all the strange beasts were finishing their work, Zhuangyi, who was in the air, glanced at the ice crystal microorganisms surrounding the land of adventure, with his hot wolf eyes again. The current vitality and blood levels are extremely powerful. Even giant beasts hundreds of meters deep in the sea only have this level of vitality and blood levels. That world will once again return to become the theme of ethnic struggle for hegemony. Once the original power and hunting talent are used, the speed will increase 10 times. But Zhuang Yi didn't have the speed to swallow his anger from the defeat. He relied on his extreme speed to go to the southern mountains, and lost several sonic talents. As for why they were so excited when they saw the Wolf King breaking through and getting weaker, the further to the front, the more the Golden Eagle realizes the huge advantages brought by specializing in one thing. The extra attribute value that Zhuang Yi gained from that upgrade was added to the speed as always. And when I was just promoted to transcend the tribulation, most of the Golden Eagle's body was shattered. The only thing that was able to support me in the bloody battle was half of my healing talent and half of my huge vitality. What was originally a tamed dead worm became the vanguard of that conquest. How can I be allowed to sleep peacefully on the side of the couch? It has been nearly a month, and no news has been sent back. And there is still no idea that any force or group dares to invade the wolf pack's territory, especially the ethnic destiny stone, which is equivalent to opening up the road to real hegemony in the future. Only when there is a real life and death fight will it be displayed as a killing move. The Theological Alliance has mobilized a small portion of its combat power and is attacking the two blessed places. However, the red fire ant colony and the dead cockroach colony still relied on the weak adaptability and survivability of the group to withstand the catastrophe, and grew into a new group of monsters in the world, like a swarm of fire ants, a swarm of dead cockroaches, etc. You need to know whether the Golden Eagle has any rules of life, and whether it has the source of divinity. That also made it possible that no force or ethnic group dared to stretch out their claws and fangs to test and occupy even the most defensive mountain territory, and the newly occupied Alma Mountain blessed land. Then a pair of light blue wolf eyes scanned the many strange beasts under his command, and howled again. Only then did all the strange beasts look back excitedly, and finish their busy work at hand. Because in that piece of heaven and earth, everything goes as planned, no matter what. All dharmas are accessible, just like the essence of one dharma. If they once obtain the ethnic destiny stone, and establish ethnic civilization, then those two small ethnic groups and the Antarctic insect swarm will probably be the weakest ethnic groups in the world. Any force that does not have the ambition to compete for world hegemony will leave no force in the distance that can threaten it. However, they also encountered counterattacks from various weak technological weapons, ultimate mecha warriors and killing fighters in the southern mountains. It has not been a full month since the wolves emerged from the southern mountains, because no ethnic group can match the aid of them in tenacious vitality, reproduction and adaptability. It's just that Zhuang Yi, who was so fast, didn't know that its behavior of going and coming back made the surrounding groups and forces even more inexplicable in avoiding the wolf pack's various territories. At the same time, the higher the blood value, the stronger Selin's ability to survive. It is only because of the absence of the Wolf King that they have been able to grow step by step from the cold Arctic ice fields, where food is scarce, from a powerful but pitifully large group to where they are now. As for the Nanjing Mountains, Zhuang Yishun Mountain, Shanghu Territory, and the wolf packs going to Hmong country, Golden Eagle plans to transfer them. It is very possible to use it for a long time or frequently. At this time, the Golden Eagle looked at its own attributes page for a moment, the weak and powerful arrogance rising under the body of this huge little wolf, which was more than 400 meters long, gradually and completely subsided. Time flies, and a few days fly by in the blink of an eye. They also obtained a blessed place like the clan's Destiny Stone and Zhuang Yishun Mountain. It cannot be said that the results of the Northward Wolf Pack's victory were unimaginably rich. Zhuang Yi followed the Northward Wolf Pack, and the result of the battle was that Zhuang Yishun Mountain was completely leveled. Such teleportation with space rules gives the Golden Eagle a truly uncanny ability to attack and kill, because what is staring at the territory and blessed land of the wolves in the sky and earth is more than just the mysterious iceberg. And if the space rules are used, the teleportation distance will be further than before. But the recovery ability has reached such a terrifying level, which shows that it is special. Because Su Lin knows that he is going deep alone, the entire Theological Alliance supports him from bottom to top. Once he is really entangled in the small camp of the wolf pack, and there are millions of alien beasts and technology, the killing weapon retreated and hunted it. And you must know that the alien king squid, which was over 60 at the time, only had a health value of about 60,000. The attack and kill of teleportation is equivalent to a direct backward space jump, which will be felt by any mutant creature. After all, even the speedy Zhuang Yi, who stands at the top of the real beasts, has succeeded and returned. Who among the other forces and ethnic groups dares to take advantage of the wolf pack's blessed land and territory, where, I am afraid that without the need for healing talent, it can be said that it is beyond the understanding of most species simply by relying on the strong blood, injury resistance, poison resistance, etc. At this time, the news that the northbound wolves had trampled the Alma Mountains and achieved unprecedented results had not spread to other ethnic groups and human forces in the distance. This is because in their hearts, the Wolf King is not only the king who rules them, but also the lowest god they have always trusted and relied on. At this time, everything in the wolf's territory was safe and sound. The northbound wolves led by Su Lin achieved great gains, while the southbound wolves led by Red Tail went completely crazy. Not only did he kill like crazy, but he also attracted the attention of more human forces and other ethnic groups. Because there are no wolf pack divisions where the Wolf King is located, we can better analyze the true strength data of the wolf pack. Ouch, mean, roar, boom. At this time, countless powerful wolves and strange beasts were roaring proudly in the land of Manga. As for the steppe wolf king, who was half-stepped to destroy the world, and the enemy tiger, who was watching the Mecha tiger tribe, they also fought with two bison kings, who were half-stepped to destroy the world at the most dangerous defensive line in that blessed land. The entire wolf pack consists of a small army of less than 1 million people, under the orders of the Red Tail and the supervision of the Arctic silver fox. It can be said that the orders are strictly enforced. Countless bombing sounds rang out there. In an instant, many organs inside the king-level bison were shattered. But now, with the transformation of Red Tail into a new species, the strength of the invincible tiger and the other two king beasts controlled by his subordinates have also increased again. Without the charming fox in the battle, the buffalo king, who was already at the upper hand, was even more likely to die. As for the members of the special beasts who come outside, they will be instantly crushed by the stern energy flow. In addition, in that bloody battle, they must have achieved their due value and victory, and I am afraid that in the eyes of the Wolf King, they will lose their original status. In that kind of extreme resentment, the one-eyed wolf completely went crazy on the battlefield. Now, the Prairie Wolf King and the enemy tiger followed his tribe and fought bloody battles with the prairie cattle on that Mongolian battlefield for more than a month. Honor the weak. It did not fight head-on with those buffalo as like the one-eyed wolf, but relied on its dexterous body to dodge waves of brutal collisions. The Death Him talent also continued to strengthen their numerical attributes, health value, the power of origin and so on. As for the enemy tiger following a group of Mecha tigers, there was another half-step world-killing bison king that was suppressing them. Therefore, facing the dual threat of Red Tail and Mihu, no member with open eyes would dare to disobey. After recovering from any injuries, he rushed to other battlefields again. Roar. It doesn't mean killing the king-level bison. The 200 to 800 tons of new species flesh and blood in the king-level bison's body belonged to it. And before the one-eyed wolf went crazy, they all dared to stop and comfort them, for fear of tearing them alive on the spot. But no matter which side wins, it is destined to be a tragic victory with heavy casualties. Before Tiandi Xiaobian awakened and became a heterogeneous species, herbivores naturally understood the advantages of being in groups. Ouch! The charm fox was single-handedly promoted and brought up by Red Tail and the Wolf King. The closeness between Red Tail and the Wolf King was definitely inferior to the closeness between other strange beasts and their parents. There is always a need for waste in a wolf pack, especially a leader of waste. It was the suspicion detected at the beginning, but the real weakest existence. There are still nearly 10 combat slaves under his command. The battlefield in that area was the calmest, and it was also the area where both sides invested the least amount of low-end king beasts. The fox wolf was alone in a bloody battle with the 8 little king-level bison of the prairie bison herd. Among them, there are more than 80 people who have successfully transformed into combat power. During the investigation and howling of the grassland wolf king, Manhwa also briefly learned that the grassland cattle herd numbered more than 800,000. Amidst the roar, the one-eyed wolf directly withstood the impact of a king-level bison. Even though his abdomen was penetrated by the horns, blood was flowing freely. Because the charming fox has not yet followed the nearly 10 warriors under his command and sneaked into this battlefield. Because if it weren't for the Wolf King's following, it and all the wolf pack members would be gone today. You must know that in that small-scale conquest, the new reward issued by the Wolf King was that all the pure blood food that was not hunted would become his own. Why? Because ever since the steppe Wolf King was temporarily promoted to the position of controlling both the male and female wolves, and his position was even lower than that of the one-eyed wolf, there has been no burning fire in his heart. Ouch! The Prairie Wolf King even fought with another Buffalo King to the point of white cold. In such a doomsday white and dark era, where food is scarce and resources are scarce, once you lose your rightful status, such a miserable appearance can't be said at all. The death hymn talent was pushed to its limit, coupled with the awakening passion talent, making the fox wolf the upper hand on the battlefield with 1 against 8. It's just that when the weakest being was recovering, it happened to be hit by the aftermath of a world-destroying divine thunder, resulting in a slight loss of its strength. The one-eyed wolf's thick hind limbs were already 81 meters long, and they almost penetrated the chest and lungs of the king-level bison from the throat. That time, Red Tail clearly asked the prairie wolf king to follow the male and female wolves under his command, and then face the old rival of the prairie cattle herd. But at the same time, the enemy tigers were also allowed to follow the Mecha Tiger clan under their command, retreating to assist in the hunting. Along with the murderous one-eyed wolf, others chased. The fox wolves following the female wolf also fought bloody battles. The one-eyed wolf didn't notice the sharp horns until it tore the king-level bison alive and felt a huge pain in its abdomen. When the time comes, the one-eyed wolf will no longer be able to rely on the flesh and blood of that king-level bison to rise to a new level again. Accompanied by another sound of flesh being torn apart, the bison blood all over his body was already splashed with blood. It turned out to be the one-eyed wolf showing his true appearance, biting the throat of the king-level bison directly. Because they, who are in the lower positions of the wolf pack, know that the wolf king has not yet decided that in the future the wolves will only allocate some special blood food to satisfy their hunger, and will allocate pure blood food again. The neighing sounds from both sides also echoed in every corner of the blessed land of grassland cattle. In order to survive, they can only use their sharpest horns and strong physiques to fight against those extremely ferocious hunters. The one-eyed wolf never considered that the sharp horns of the king-level bison were still piercing his body. At the same time, before finally retreating to the Moon Kingdom area, the Fox clan under his command had once again explored the details of the 2 great blessings preserved by the Moon Kingdom. It's going to climb. It's going to get weaker. As the top weakling, me who suddenly does not have such privileges. The one-eyed wolf fell into madness, with killing in his eyes. The guards looked at the murderous one-eyed wolf, with no fear in their eyes. After the catastrophe, the 2 sides had already known that there had been many bloody hunts and counter-hunts under the vast grasslands of the Moon Kingdom. Standing on a low mountain and looking at the red tail of the battlefield, Ziozi has not yet realized that the grassland cattle herd will be defeated. Otherwise, Selin would hand over the wolf pack's million-strong army to it. Father, like son, now everyone can see that the fight that has not lasted for more than a month will come to an end today. Trade injury for injury. It can be said that the number of red tails commanding the army is the largest. Even before that battle, it was extremely unlikely that the servants under Mihu would have another bison, a half-step world-destroying exotic beast. So it was a home field that belonged exclusively to the king-level Hanying. Among those Hongying, there were not even 1 or 4 king beasts that had reached the ultimate king level. In addition, there were still 2 buffalo kings, 1 male and 1 female, among the grassland cattle. Those 2 buffalo kings had all reached the half-step world-destroying level. The prestige of Red Tail has gradually reached a certain peak among the wolves, because on this battlefield, the weakest existence without Zhang Jingyuan has truly revived. That time, Red Tail, the prairie wolf king, and the enemy tiger all received orders from the wolf king to destroy the 2 blessed lands. It was also followed by the blue-eyed wolf, golden-striped wolf, scarred wolf and a group of personal guards, who had conquered the Siberian plains. Poof! Brutal fighting was taking place in every area of the grassland cattle paradise kill. But even if it is the weakest existence that has suffered a heavy loss in strength, it is still the weakest existence. It is basically comparable to the so-called half-step world-destroying beasts. After all, even on the battlefield of the Siberian plains, the only members of the wolf pack that Red Tail could really command were the Tiger clan, Fox clan, Nighthawk and other personal guards. Moo. So that huge herd of grassland cattle didn't arise just like that. It is a low-level alpha wolf. Why should it succumb to an outsider from the prairie wolf tribe? It was Hong Tai, who withdrew his gaze and looked towards another battlefield farther away, but there was no solemn expression in his eyes. Before it was strengthened to a certain level, the fox wolf directly slit the throats of the 8 king-level bison in an instant, allowing the remaining blood to splash into the blessed land that was not covered with rich grasslands. In addition, Mihu has always been decisive in killing. Moo. It is a fatal and special fight, not to become weaker. Any enemy who dares to stand in its way will die. Because as he has been in charge of soldiers for longer and longer, Hongwei has long understood the reason why Qi is a soldier. Although they are now involved in a melee, before the defense line is torn open, How can a group of cattle that only know how to eat weeds on weekdays be rivals of ferocious tigers and wolves that use their full power? The blue-eyed wolf, golden-striped wolf, scarred wolf, etc. can only follow the one-eyed wolf to pick up some scattered battle achievements, and by the way, they also leave their mark on all the prey they kill. The other parts are either too far away, or like the birds of the Arctic tern, they listen to the tune but not the announcement. The blood and broken limbs of both sides were flowing in that area. Wolf blood and cow blood splashed and danced against each other. Because he is actually the one-eyed wolf now, he looks like a wolf or a ghost. He is covered in horrific injuries. To avoid the possibility of catching other wolf pack members before the war, and taking them as their own, because its defense line has not been torn apart by the wolves and tiger clan, the steppe wolf king was worthy of being a small overlord in that Mon kingdom area. He fought a bison king one-on-one, but he had not completely suppressed it. Hundreds of thousands of tigers and wolves versus the herds of cattle on the grassland, whether after or before the minor change in heaven and earth. It can definitely be called the pinnacle showdown between the hunter and the hunted. Have you ever been afraid of a one-eyed wolf? Wolves have always been like that, boom. However, there are still king-level bison, who can use the source of. It used all its strength to block the wound, and its sharp claws followed the wound directly and penetrated it completely. Poof! If it was weak enough, it should have been in charge of both the male and female wolves. There was a sound of a sharp instrument entering the body, and the one-eyed wolf bit directly through the throat of the king-level bison. What's more, the Arctic Silver Fox clan also has a rising star like Mihu, but the one-eyed wolf still roared ferociously, grabbing the bison with its sharp wolf claws so that it could escape, and then headed towards the king-level bison's throat with its thick and sharp fangs. It's just that the grassland cattle group is weaker than the grassland wolf pack in both individual strength and group strength, so the grassland wolf king has always lost more and won more. And Redtail followed a group of fox clansmen, climbed down and looked at the battlefield, and there was no expression in a pair of clear white eyes. At that moment, the ferocity and murderousness in its eyes were so wild that it reached a certain level. Even if there are mecha tigers under the command of the enemy tigers, most of them do not have king level or near king level strength before they are equipped with version 2.0 first class meshes. Whether it is for military exploits, status, or for the pure blood food they obtain, they must conquer that blessed land. Relying on the 800 tiger clan, even the enemy tigers and the king beasts that had not reached the half-step world-destroying level were able to suppress one of the buffalo kings. The king-level bison wanted to tear it into pieces, so why did it want to completely kill the king-level bison? In this land, there are more than 1.8 million wolves in various armies led by Redtail. Redtail has not yet sent all the 80 Arctic silver foxes, who have awakened their spiritual power to various tribes to serve as communications and central regional commanders. Although he hates being in power by nature, he has always fought bloody battles on the last line, and his military exploits are undoubtedly the best among the wolf pack members. All alien beasts with elite strength and above have extremely high intelligence. Everyone has to consider what the consequences will be if they don't listen to Redtail's orders. If it weren't for the support of the original power and tenacious will, I'm afraid he wouldn't have fallen down long ago. Even among the alien beasts with alpha wolf status, if they had not obtained some pure blood food in that bloody battle, I am afraid it would have been difficult to taste it before, especially in this most peaceful battlefield. The two half-step world-destroying buffalo kings were both seriously injured. This is especially true for grassland cattle. Its wolf warrior talent and wolf king talent can actually double superimpose strength, making it the top level among half-step world-destroying king beasts. In the past, he was the old rival of the steppe wolf king and his pack of steppe wolves. Then he used his fangs to pull out the sharp horns directly. Once he is really mad, even if he kills dozens of bee-wolves, or even low-level bee-wolves in the wolf pack, it will not be offset by his extremely rich military exploits. One of them occupies the territory of a herd of grassland cattle. For the bison king who was half destroying the world in one step, Redtail only glanced at it briefly, and then withdrew his gaze. And in the frightened eyes of the king-level bison, the one-eyed wolf smiled ferociously and used both claws and the original power to tear the king-level bison in half. Is it all because of my own strength? Therefore, the prairie wolf king and the enemy tiger, no matter whether it is for status or pure blood food, they are all fighting for their lives. So it can only resent itself and the steppen wolf king. It dares to resent the wolf king. Roar.
Thank you for watching Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share and subscribe. Have a great day.